Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Space Corps podcast. It's your homeboy Stoney coming to you live from the TCM Museum of Minnesota, baby. Happy fucking Saturday to everybody. Hope everybody's kicking it, doing it well. Having some nicer fucking weather than goddamn Minnesota as it's been monsoon season. I feel like I'm in Dublin, fucking Ireland every single day. Jesus Christ. We got a fucking hell of a banger tonight because my homeboy, Mr. Shawn Shango, was in the house this evening. So let me switch over to the screen there. We're even going to do none of the promos, none of that bullshit. Straight to the circle jerk gang. Bang, bang. What up, Shango?
What's going on, man?
Hey,
how you doing tonight?
Doing all right. I'm feeling good now. I'm happy you're hopping on because I think I've decided I don't like the format of just solo. I don't like just going at it on myself, going to town. I like to have somebody else to kind of fucking, stroke back and forth. Double Dutch rudder, I think that's the technical term. So.
Oh yeah.
I appreciate you hopping on.
It's a whole different world, man.
Yeah, it's
when you got to do it like.
It's been happening. It's fine, but I just, I don't know. Just for me, I just feel like it's just like there's so much more value when it's just like a nice conversation and a back and forth and stuff like this. So and that's just personally what I prefer, and I don't know if that's how everybody else feels, but that's what I'm gonna try to do. So I'm gonna try to limit those as much as possible, but it's a fucking work in progress.
Oh yeah. Doing it by yourself. I mean, it's fun, it gets the job done. Sometimes when you're all done, you feel better. But it's definitely better to have a buddy.
And it's like
coming up with all that shit by yourself, dude, that sucks.
Dude, the format of it is usually like, okay, it revolves around like I've got some shit to open up and talk about, but it's like that's just not a viable format for my lifestyle. I'm not buying shit every 5 fucking seconds. So it's like when you don't have something, I'm kind of like I kind of, you know me, I don't prep nothing. So I'm kind of like, what the fuck am I going to talk about? And I like, dude, last week, I swear to God, I felt like I was like stumped. I was like, I'm just going to cut this short. Like, call it good.
Sorry, I was getting some shares out there.
Oh, dude, no
worries,
back in. Appreciate that. Oh.
Yeah, the tedium of doing it by yourself. It's joyous.
Dude, for sure. All right. Yeah, thanks for putting some shares on there, man. Getting a few people in here. Trickle it in, you know how it goes. We do the live on the Facebook Saturday nights, and after that, if you can't kick it with us now, I try to pop it up on the old YouTube page, which is down somewhere fucking below. Check it out. Subscribe to that shit if y'all haven't. Dude, it's
get us the old @everyone tag here.
It's been a fucking brutal start to the morning as far as like TCM news and everything. And it's something I can't plug anymore. The con for Chicago, the Midwest Gorefest, is officially canceled, baby. She's done.
Yeah, that sucks, dude.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out if that was the one that you were really super excited for, and then when you told me it was, I was disappointed for you.
It was going to be the first convention outside of Minnesota going to. It was a 50th year anniversary. It wasn't a mega star-studded TCM reunion, but it was enough where I was bringing out the old chainsaw. I was bringing some stuff. There was some autographs I was fucking really looking forward to. And especially Andrew Bernarski, man, that crazy fucker. I gotta meet him one day, dude. I got that big Tommy from Evil Wonka. I gotta get that thing signed. I mean, it's just only right, Dude, Brett's in the chat. What's going on? David's watching. Randy. We got Rex. We got everybody. Hell yeah, man. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I dropped an @everyone tag in the group, so hopefully we get some people in here, touch some tips.
Come fucking kick it. Come make fun of us. Do whatever. It's just a fucking hang. A Saturday night little social here, baby.
Oh, yeah.
So I added some new goofball shit to the merch page. So I don't know if you happen to see what's streaming below you there, but your face may be in a couple of posters. The old the classic fucking meme war with our homie Brett Michael, who formerly Brett Daniels. And he was making some fucking funny-ass memes with us when it was all going down. So those are now available as a fucking poster, and in case anybody wants that, we'll sign those bitches for you, I'm sure, if you fucking sweet-talk us nice enough. But
get our big gay asses in the overly muscle-bound fucking gym shot.
Dude, I never looked better. I'm aspiring to that right now.
The quote shirt, man. There's been a few that I've wanted to pick up, and the quote shirt. I did not expect that, but hey.
It's you never know what might get picked up and somebody finds as a little gem. So
It's true. You got a lot of great shit on there, man. The Stone Cold drinking the beer one from back in the old days.
dude,
I
yeah.
love that one.
I couldn't even I still had that picture. I'm like, fucking, that's got to go up there. I'm sure there's some copyright infringement and all that shit, but I mean, fuck it, it's just goofball stuff anyway. Take it down if you want, whatever.
Yeah, some of that stuff really damn neat, man. The trucker hat and shit's been been on my get list for a while. I haven't pulled the trigger yet because I've been poor as fuck, but
All good, man. It's goofy with all that stuff because you can actually like set like the prices and all that, and you can it's maximize your profit margins. Fuck that, I'm just like it's like 2 pennies above cost, for like everything. Because I'm just like, dude, somebody wants to buy some of this shit. Fuck yeah, man. Like go homie Chris Atkins, he was the first one to buy a shirt. He's repping that. I got fucking Sam Wincup up in Canada. She's shooting pictures on Facebook out with friends, and I see she's got the shirt on. I go, fuck yeah, man, that's killer.
Hey, if it works and it gets the name out, that's what matters.
Fuck yeah. Dude, what's hanging your Myrtle Beaches, says Rex Goatley. The fucking goat's on even. The lovely Ann McDonald, Half Moon Design. Shout out to Ann. Again, I got my fucking Fat Boy Bubba summer tumbler. Fucking hit up Ann, Half Moon Designs, for any of your fucking summer beverage needs, your fucking wallets, your backpacks, your goddamn everything. This fucking the dopest shit. I swear to God, these companies are now coming out because of her. I'm starting to see all these like cool horror backpacks, and they look like half the fucking quality of like what she does, man. It's nuts.
Where the hell is Ann and Bobby and all the usual suspects here?
Yeah, we got to get them in here. We got a lot to talk about here. It's been a big fucking week for America. We got the bullshit with the libtards and the Trump.
Oh shit!
Oh man, it's been nuts, dude. We got fucking big Trump dog went down with there, which is like the final nail in the coffin for like fucking Democrats. You feel it's just like how can you not see what's like gonna happen? Like that dude fucking raised like $26 million within 24 hours after that happened or something. Like, dude, they just throwing gas on the fire, man. It's so funny.
Yeah, that whole thing, man. Like I made a post on Facebook the other day about the people that are cheering because he lost and cheering because, or like being upset about it and being all butthurt. And I've seen comparisons to Jesus, and Jesus was convicted in a sham trial. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys?
Plus, he was crucified, and I still follow him. I'm like, whoa, all right, man. It's
I mean,
so wacky.
I'm not going to judge anybody for their political affiliations, but comparing Trump to Jesus is a bit of a stretch.
It's a little bit
certifiably retarded. I'm just going to say it.
And it goes like both ways too. It's just like it's like so extreme where it's like like one side he's Jesus, the other side he's like worse than like Hitler and like Satan. You're like, just for Christ's sake, guys. It's just like it could just be the other party you don't really fucking align with, and that's okay.
Yeah, it's one thing to have your political party and to hold it near and dear to your heart. Most of us do.
Yeah.
But I will never understand this. I voted for Trump in 2016 or whatever year it was.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, this guy did all right, but it was never oh my God, Trump is going to lose, and now I'm going to have to bury my head in the sand.
That's right.
America's done. It's done.
Rally the Proud Boys. It's time to storm the Capitol again, baby.
Somebody get my tiki torch. It's time to go.
Oh, it's just crazy, dude.
Yes, it is.
And then the other big fucking news here. I just try to put the milestones of each fucking week so I can remember what's going on. Your homeboy, your big fan of Eminem just dropped his new single. You hear all this and all of his back to his controversy and all this stuff. It's actually fucking great. If you haven't heard, I know you're not a fan of it at all. So he's he put out this fucking new single. He's got a new album coming out or something. But it is a throwback to like early 2000s goofball, Slim Shady shit. Like the music videos being all, fucking dressing up with like, Batman, Robin, riding around with Dre. He's got all the old fucking, so you see Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent, all of them are like cameoed in the video. It's a really good music video. And it's but the whole sound of it's like an old school back to his roots shit, right? And so it's not the super fast rapping that he kind of does nowadays. And it's funny because now you're seeing like the newer fans, the young kids of Eminem, they're like, what the fuck is this shit? And all of us old people were like, it's like, remember that Super Bowl where all of a sudden it was like fucking Dre and Snoop and everybody's like, yeah, you know, like the fucking 40-year-olds are happy. It's like that again, you know? And then all the new fans, they're all pissed off because, you know, he's, you know, he every, you know, hit song he's always dogging on everybody or whatever, right? You know, that's his thing. So he's like saying, you know, and it's not even that bad. It's pretty mild, but there's like a something about like Megan Thee Stallion and Kim Kardashian, you know, his usual pop figures you go after. But all the Eminem fans, the young kids, are like, I can't believe he'd say that. Like they're trying to cancel him, and all of us old people were like, this is him. You can't cancel Eminem. This is him. It's the controversy. Like sit back and enjoy, kids. You know, like it's so fucking funny, man.
Shit, now you've kind of piqued my interest, man. I haven't liked him since his first 2 albums, and it was because he was obnoxious and loud and in everybody's face, and then he became whatever the fuck he's been for the last 15 years, and it's like, oh, yeah, all right, cool.
I would highly recommend watching the music video. It's probably 4 minutes or something, but it's really well done. It's very comic book-esque. It's funny as fuck. And he's got some cameos in there too, you know, and I think like Shane Gillis is in it, and then at the fucking end there's like Pete Davidson made his fucking skank ass way in there, so it's worth it, man. It's really funny, like it's very comical. He's like, you know, just back to the goofball shit, you know, and then too it's just a trip just to see how fucking old everybody is. Dre, you know, they're driving in a car together like fighting crime, and he just looks like he's 90, just sagging.
Boy. Make sure they ate their dinner at 4:00 so they didn't miss the film shoot at night.
That's right. Whatever the black Matlock is, you know, he's got to catch that.
Oh, shit.
Oh, Brett never cared for politics. That makes fucking 5 of us here.
Yep.
Stoney's still down to change last names. For fucking 5 years, Rex Goatley has been trying to change names with me here. He wants the Stone name, and he wants me to be the Goat. And it's just not happening yet, brother. I'm not on your level yet, Rex. So we'll see. We need to be more politically correct. I'm the Stone. Now you are the Goat. Go. Shut up. And then Brett says the Eminem's plan the whole time was staged MGK beef amongst other beefs. This was all the moment where he became relevant again. Anyway, I'm not too like big into it. You know, I like some of his stuff. I think he's whatever. Yeah. Anyway, I know he's not your favorite fucking dude, but I might as well talk about. Let me bring up Five Finger Death Punch and Slipknot for you too while we're at it. You know.
You know, I've actually softened my demeanor to Slipknot a lot. I'm pretty sure that Custer is one of the best damn songs I've ever heard in my life.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie, man. I've been listening to him a hell of a lot more lately. And outside of the shit that they play on the radio that I still can't stand, they still have that edge. They still have everything that made us love them in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Dude,
so,
sure.
You know, I'm always shrooms ahead of Slipknot, as everybody knows. But, you know, it's Custer, man. It was Custer that changed it for me.
Dude, that's a killer fucking track. That CD's pretty goddamn good, too, for, like, it didn't get as much... You know, it's kind of almost like a forgotten about one, right? You know, I think that was the one that was a tribute to Paul Gray. It was like Chapter 5.
Yep.
But you know, they put out their last album. I barely even heard it because it wasn't that interesting. But the one before that, it's pretty fucking gnarly. How, you know, really heavy and like it kind of like, you know, just cemented in that they're still very relevant and they're not just like fizzling out. You know, and then seeing all them fucking. Did you see all the pictures of their new outfits they're doing the celebration of the like 25th anniversary of the self-title, where they're back to the jumpsuits. Their new masks are like close to their, you know, they're not like, you know, mimicking it, but it's so nostalgic, dude. It's fucking amazing, dude.
I saw that they played some small hole in the wall bar or venue or whatever, and they came out in the jumpsuits and the OG looking masks, and I was just like, all right, that's fucking sick,
dude. And I think the tickets were like $20 or $15 or something too, like really cool like that, you know. I think it's cool when artists will do shit like that when it's like you're so big where it's like you guys don't need you know, you're not scraping by to make the money, where it's like you can kind of do some fun shit like that, like, you know, go play a little like, you know, surprise club, you know, with like 800 people. You know, I mean, that just for me as a fan, could you just imagine seeing one of your favorite bands all of a sudden, you know, like you just caught them, they're in your hometown, like they pop up like, what, tonight? What? All right. Tickets, got it.
Yeah, fuck, man. We got some good-ass tours that are coming through the area here soon. Got El Nino, A Killer's Confession, and Flaw. And then, yeah, man, there's some good tours this summer. There really is.
That's
like,
fucking sweet.
I mean, I don't know if you're into Il Nino or Killer's Confession, Flaw. I don't know if you like any of those bands or
El
not.
Nino
But
for sure, man. I remember listening to them.
AKC or a Killer's Confession is Waylon from Mushroomhead. That's his current project.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
That's why it sounds familiar. I would check that out. I haven't listened to it yet, but
I mean, they're pretty good. Like if you dug the albums that Waylon was on with Mushroomhead, then you would absolutely dig a Killer's Confession.
cool.
So yeah, it's pretty good stuff.
Man, I got on a Mushroomhead kick a few weeks ago.
Attaboy.
I got a good hour drive into work or something, and I put on Save Your Sorrow. Just to me, like, and I don't mean this is insulting at all, but that's like the last where I left off at Mushroomhead at no reason. I fucking love that album, and then
Sure.
whenever a new album came out after that, it just wasn't on my radar. And
Yeah.
so I know there's that Butterfly one, the whatever, the Poor Kids fucking album or whatever the fuck that.
You have Beautiful Stories for Ugly Children.
Yeah,
and,
that one.
yeah, The Righteous and the Butterfly.
Yeah. And I mean, are they good? Are they worth a listen?
Beautiful Stories for Ugly Children is probably my least favorite Mushroomhead album, just because the production on it is kind of crap, if we're
Okay.
being honest. But The Righteous and the Butterfly is one of my favorites. That is
Really?
one of their best albums to date. Absolutely.
So, at what album did Jeffrey Nothing bow out? Because I know like J Man and then Waylon, they kind of went back and forth, and then at one point, were all three of them singing? Did J Man
Yeah.
come back with like that's fucking
Yeah,
amazing?
That's The Righteous and the Butterfly. That was the
Really?
only album that had all three of them.
Okay.
And they all left right after that one. The only album that has J-Man and no Waylon or no Jeffrey Nothing, that's the newest one, which is A Wonderful Life. And I mean, even A Wonderful Life is good. The guy that they got that replaced or took over for Jeffrey Nothing, I mean, he does a fantastic job filling those shoes. But yeah, The Righteous and the Butterfly, man, all three of them doing their thing. If you dig it, you got to check them out.
That's cool. So is J-Man still currently one of the front man? Okay. Because I thought it was a whole new cast. Like it's basically like Stitch, right? That's in it or something. And
Yeah, Stitch and Skinny, and I don't even think
yeah.
Stitch is in it anymore.
Really?
I think he's really super part-time at this point. But that's the thing about Mushroomhead is the reason that they wore those masks was because they were never going to be
Yeah.
a set lineup band. They were
Yeah.
always going to bring in whichever different musicians they needed. And so it's kind of neat. They're in the studio currently, from what I understand.
That's
So,
cool. So
yeah,
just
yeah.
an outside observation of it though, what I nowadays what I've seen from because yeah, it's totally different, but it seems like I think they've really found their groove and their niche where they're like the masks and the makeup and like that music video production like it was like a fucking Game of Thrones like movie I watched for one of their last like tracks that I heard. It was really good.
Yeah, that's are you talking about the video that had all the masks and stuff in it and the creepy ass treant fingers and
Yep.
yeah, that was the video for Requiem for Tomorrow, and that was a good one. That's off the newest album.
That's sick.
So yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, dude, ever since like the TCM collecting, like I'm a fucking lover of just masks now. So I'm like, I really dig it. It's so hard. I gotta keep myself from buying outside of TCM because also I'm like, I want Mushroomhead masks, and then there's some Slipknot, and then there's just like just crazy shit out there, that just looks so fucking cool. But I'm just like, where am I gonna put it, man? I don't know.
And I wouldn't be surprised. I've never seen one, but I wouldn't be surprised to learn for some of their Halloween shows in the past, they've done Friday the 13th Hawks, they've done Myers masks, they've done. I wouldn't be surprised to learn that there is Texas Chainsaw Massacre Mushroomhead mask out there somewhere. So just putting that out there.
That's good to know.
Saying.
Maybe I need to hit up the Reverend and give him a concept piece and be like, dude, I need, because I love I love just the Mushroomhead masks from like the XX, era like that, and then,
Yep.
And I think the one other thing that kind of turned me off more recently is they got like so into like the fucking water drums, and I'm just like, get over it, like.
I love that shit.
I mean, I know it looks cool, but it just seems like that's like they're like all in on it, and it just like like make sure the music's still really good too. But again, it's just that could be a super ignorant statement. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's just more of a we've got so many different people doing so many different things, and not every song requires, you know, all that activity.
Yeah.
So they get out there and they beat on those drums and shit. I mean, for what it is, it looks super fucking cool, you
Yeah,
know,
I'm
from
sure.
a crowd perspective. But yeah, it'd be tough to keep all of them, you know, like even from what I understand, Skinny doesn't even sit behind the kit much anymore.
Really?
So it's him up front doing the water drums a lot of the time, and yeah.
Dude, how cool would it be to catch Mushroomhead and Crossbreed together for the fucking UV black light? Somebody slipped you acid, you know, fucking night of your life or something.
Yeah, that would be badass, dude. That would be
Yeah.
sick as fuck. But then again, man, there's so many badass bands that have come out of that area over time. Put them on a roster with what is it, 216 and fuck, dude. Yeah, I wish I was from that area sometimes just to go out and see some of those bands play.
Yeah, for sure. I'm a sucker for that, like just some industrial, you know, some fucking, you know, synth and some groove metal, and then some fucking all the colors and all that shit. Like, kind of taps me back into the old days, you know.
Sure. I can't tell. Did you freeze up? Did
Ooh.
your video freeze up?
It kind of looks like I did, huh? Let's see.
Uh-oh.
Let me do one quick thing here. Let's go back to that camera. Yeah, look a little. I wonder if I can fucking reboot the camera here without stopping the live. I bet I can. Let's
Yeah, give it a go.
Let's give it a shot. If not, we'll come on back. It don't matter. Let's see.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's just see. If anything, you can still hear me right now, right?
Yeah, you can definitely still hear you.
All right, here. Let me just plug her back in. Fire back up the old GoPro. Let's see how this shit goes.
Yeah, Rex, I was never really a big mask guy up until The Walking Dead gave me a reason to collect masks, and I'm not ashamed of it. And the way that they did that was just incredible. So some of the Walking Dead masks from the Whisperers era, I'm all about that shit.
Sure. I don't know if I can't fucking get this booch to bit. I know my fucking computer is bitching at me about fucking. I store every goddamn one of these podcasts on my hard drive, and it's like, dude, you are killing for space.
Gotta love it, man.
It might be. Let's see here. Let me just try one more time. If not, fucking whatever, man. One last boot.
Guy Durham, what's up, man? How you doing?
Dude, guys fucking feeling the bad news too with that. I was gonna get a cast signed poster signed from at the fucking con in Chicago too, man.
Oof.
Such a bummer. Let's see,
dude. So, do you know anything about that drama? Like, are you on the inside scoop on any of that shit?
Yeah, I mean, without being directly told, you know, I think I've heard kind of, you know, what most of that really boiled down to. So, you know, I think the issue is the guy putting it on is kind of known for being kind of drama seems to follow him around. I think he's a really nice guy. I think he's a genuine guy, but I think that we had some issues, or not we. I had nothing to do with it, but you know, I think as for hearing from one of the guys that does the Crypticon and his, you know, 2 cents on the ordeal, you know, speculation could be that he was banking on all of the you know, ticket sales to, you know, fund everything ahead of time. And then when everybody tries to collect, you know, and then things weren't going, and then contracts weren't getting signed and whatever, you know, I think it all kind of just fell apart. But yeah, it was basically he couldn't get, you know, contracts signed by, like, you know, 6 of the main people, and was trying to get you know, planes booked and all this shit and hotels, and, you know, nobody would commit, and I don't know, it just fucking sucks, dude.
Yeah, that would be a clusterfuck. I mean, Ann and I were talking about that just this morning. Like, you know, how cool would it be to just put on your own con? And the whole reason that we even thought of this is an hour south of us in Omaha, there's a little Comic-Con that's happening at the end of the month. And it's got Michael Rooker he was Merle in The Walking Dead. It's got Linnea Quigley's going to be there.
Oh,
and,
really?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a little thing, you know. There's only like 5 or 6 guests, but right off the bat, it was just like, okay, hey, we never get anything in our neck of the woods. And, you know, not to put a slight against Crypticon or anything like that, but it's like, fuck, dude, this one's already better than Crypticon is.
Sure.
So it was like, okay, we're going to make a trip down there. But, we got to talking, and with Anne and all of the contacts that she has made over the years in her community with the crafting and the sewing, leather working, all of that stuff, and the people that I've met over the years, we could put on a hell of a convention just based upon the vendors that would show up themselves.
Sure.
And trying to book some guests. So we might be working on a thing or two here in the near future.
That's cool,
but
man.
I don't want to fall into the clusterfuck area of it all.
No, and that's one thing I was talking to. So Nate Hewitt, he's the pro wrestler, son of Leatherface guy, one of my homies I had on. He, getting to talk to him and like understanding like life on the pro wrestling circuit, and then going, and then he mingles into conventions because he's also a horror theme and stuff like that.
Sure.
Like, dude, I don't like, the more I see behind the curtains, it just sucks, dude. I don't want to fucking even know about it half the time now. It's just like,
yeah, we've kind of learned the hard way that seeing too far behind the curtain is incredibly detrimental to all things, whether it's letting people in, whether it's just seeing stuff you should, dude, it sucks, man. That whole never meet your heroes kind of thing.
right.
And yeah, abso-fucking-lutely, dude. Johnny Brim, Rex mentioned that your live was frozen, and Johnny Brim says you're just taking it all in. He's just sitting there, just chilling.
I am trying out like one last ditch effort thing here to see if I can't resurrect it, and if not, you're the eye candy anyway. So as long as you can keep shaking it, that's all I really care about.
I mean, I don't know about any of that. I'm the fucking troll over here, but I am about to put the shades back on, though.
Yeah,
Not even gonna lie. Yep. So yeah, man, Oh, there's Daniel Cruz in the house.
Dude, the Reverend. Let's see if I can't get it one last fucking time.
Just twice if you were being held against your will.
Yeah, dude, this is great.
I'm gonna trap him in the basement there.
I'm practicing ventriloquism. Oh fuck.
And doing a fine job.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it makes I have to fucking reboot the whole fucking live for it, but I don't really give a shit. So, yeah, Mr. Reverend, we might need to talk about a custom mushroom head Leatherface mashup mask. So we'll have to get you nice and stoned one night and talk about some shit.
And a Whisperers beta mask.
Yes.
Yep. Fuck, dude, I saw a couple that were on like horror prop replica. I don't remember what the fucking website was, but they were really super cool, right? And I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pull the trigger on a couple of these, and I'm gonna get them there. And then I got to thinking, with as many people as we know that make masks, why the fuck would I do that?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, fuck, buddy. I don't know what to do. I half of me, I really don't really care if it's frozen. It's fucking still hanging, but maybe I should fucking reboot it here. I don't know.
Yeah, go ahead and restart, man. We'll come back. I don't give a shit.
It's always the shit show, right? That's where we're born in the shit show.
It's my fault, man. You got the shit show on here.
I love it. Yeah, I'm gonna try to shut Streamlabs down and reboot it and see if that doesn't take care of the old fucking thing, and we can come right back because I can splice this fucking live with the next one on the YouTube anyway. So
cool, man. We'll see you in a bit.
All right, fuckers, we'll be back in a minute here. And then it says we're live. Yeah, dude, as much as like, I'm pushing this like more on like the YouTube side for the longevity of it. I love the aspect of doing this in a Facebook live format where there's comments, there's, additional banter and stuff like that. Like it's so much more fun. Like,
oh yeah, absolutely.
Just people catching the fucking references, whatever. I just saw as I was dumping that last live, somebody caught the Bane reference from Batman. Like you didn't know the shit show until you were a mere man or something. It's so funny. Let me see. All right, I think it's up now.
Yeah, I didn't even catch it. So
let's see. Is this
all right? I'm gonna get these shares back out there again. Take two.
All right, yeah, I just want to make sure I'm not sharing the old one. Beautiful. There we go. We'll fucking get her.
Yes, we will. Man, somebody in Offbeat's being quick about this. Thank you very
Nice.
much, whoever you are.
Shango broke the internet and my webcam.
It's true. It's true.
Sick. All right, cool. Back in action.
All right, I gotta.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh.
So, the other thing I've been seeing that's coming out that came out this week, apparently that in a violent nature or of a violent nature, that fucking movie is out. So I'm trying not to read all the fucking elitist people that just pick this shit apart. But
Sure.
I want to see it, man. Have you saw trailers finally for it? I know we talked about it a long time
I
ago.
saw the trailers. Yeah, I have a buddy that's.
Oh shit, we're just not doing too well tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Here, Shango, we got to get you back on for hell. That's all right. We'll do this for a minute until we know he's back, baby. Until we know he's back. Fuck. Let's see here. Let's talk merch, baby. It is the shit show. So make sure you check this out. I got Stoney's TCM stuff. I got the fucking Space Corps podcast shit. All of your fucking sweet needs here. I just kicked the power button on my computer. He says, "Awesome." All right, hold on here. Let's. We're gonna get it, ladies and gentlemen. For fuck's sake, let me throw him a new link to get on. Anyway, like I'm saying, the Chicago goddamn con is canceled, so that's not a fucking thing anymore. I will not be in Chicago to meet any of you fine people, and it's fucking breaking my heart because I had lots of plans for seeing some fucking homies, such as the evil Nate Hewitt and the Black Dahlia. What the fuck? Where's the circle jerking? Says Sean. You're goddamn right. We're jerking around here, but we are in a very true shit show technical difficulties for this night. But ask me if I care. I really don't give a fucking shit. It doesn't matter. It's funny as fuck to me. So we're getting Shango back on. All right, hold on here. Shango, I see you're connecting. Let me just add you into the chat. And I think we're back on, baby.
Are you, dude, I went to go and cross my leg, but I got this fucking knee brace thing on, so it's not as loose as it normally is, and I accidentally kicked the power button. Like, what are the chances of that shit?
No problem. We're 1 for 1 on each side, so we're good, man. Sean Fuller's in the house. What up, dude?
What's happening, Mr. Fuller?
We're having a good old boys episode. Circle Jerk gang back in full effect, and fucking we're just booting shit left and right. That's awesome.
We are having a hell of a time, and it's fancy.
And that's a funny thing. I'm like, some people would get nervous. Oh, shit's fucking up. You just laugh, like, whatever. Like, we'll make it work sometime, or we won't. Who fucking cares? It's all good.
Yep. Fuck it. It's Saturday night, doing our thing, and
right,
having
dude.
fun with it.
Says at least you didn't kick through the can.
Yeah, no, definitely not that hard, but this knee brace is making shit a little bit more challenging than necessary. So,
dude, I'm sorry to hear you're fucking banged up a little bit, man. Are you on the road to recovery or what?
So it's fucking stupid, man. So a couple of weeks ago at work, I had a minor incident, and I was off for a couple of days. It was like, oh, I fucked my knee up and whatever. Well, ice and elevation, you put the son of a bitch up, you go back to work, and life was fine for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
A couple of days ago, I got up at like 4 a.m. to take a piss, right? So middle of the night, I'm walking through, go to the bathroom, I'm standing there doing my thing, and I felt my knee pop, just like, I felt like you're cracking your knuckles or whatever. I didn't think anything of it. And then my foot was numb, or my leg was numb from the knee down. About 4 or 5 minutes later, I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Whoa.
So, yeah, I was at the specialist yesterday and trying to get all this shit figured out. And sounds like it might be surgery.
Holy shit.
So
what caused it to go numb? Like did it pop and then all of a sudden it like pinched like a fucking nerve or something? Or
well, at first that's what they thought. They thought that it was nerve related. And when I saw the specialist yesterday, he's like, yeah, this is actually indicative of the meniscus cartilage being shot.
Oh.
So I don't know. I guess it's going to go either way because I got to get an MRI this coming week, and we'll see what's up with it. It's going to be joyous.
dude, cheers to living life, after 30s, right?
And it's, I don't even have a cool fucking story to go with it. Like, oh, what'd you do to your knee, man? I took a piss.
No, I know I'm gonna be out of commission just because I fucking farted wrong one of these days. I swear to God, dude. All of a sudden, just like the back, like what the fuck?
Oh yeah, you fucking cough or get up too quick. Abso-fucking-lutely. Yep, unbelievable.
Danny Wagner, what up, dude? Hope everybody's having a good fucking weekend, man. Like I said, this is just the format. This is what I like. This is what I'm sticking with. I think if I don't have somebody to come kick it, I don't even think I'm gonna fucking do it that weekend.
But yeah, going back to your previous subject of that movie, I already forgot what it's called.
Of a violent nature, in a violent nature, yes. The Jason ripoff, but it looks gory and cool as fuck,
Yes. So we have excuse me, I have a buddy in the group, and you've probably seen his reviews before. His name is Chris Risdall, and he's a local kid here in Sioux City, and he always types up and writes these incredible reviews whenever he watches a movie. And the one that he wrote was that it was too slow.
Okay.
But it was super gory, and it's worth a watch if you can get it for free. He said don't pay for it, but if it's on Shudder, you can catch it for free. It's a good deal. So I might have to do that. He actually recommended that I watch Thanksgiving. I was against that movie very, very much when it first came out. I was like, this is stupid as hell. And he sends me a free code to get the movie for free on Vudu.
Yeah.
And I watched it, and it was fucking awesome, man. I enjoyed the hell out of that one.
Dude, for sure. I like that one too, man. I just nowadays, like for me, I just want something that's fun. I want just like cool kills. I want like, just craziness. And I don't hold it to much more of a standard after that. It's just like, for fuck's sake, I just like people are like fucking wine connoisseurs with like, dissecting movies. Like, dude, it's a fucking made up movie. Just go have fun, watch it. Hopefully it's bloody and, whatever. That's all I want.
Yeah, fuck, dude, there's been quite a bit that's come out recently that I want to see. Anne's going to wrangle me into watching the first Omen with her. We just saw that one's out to stream, so I have no interest in that one, though. Like, I didn't care for the Omen movies, man. They were, nah. Hey, Sean Heim, Stone is much, much younger than I am. I'm in my 40s.
I didn't want to point it out. I didn't want to make you feel bad or anything, but I'm getting there. I'm on the back half of the 30s, so. Yeah,
well, at least you haven't blown your knee out by taking a piss.
Tim and Amanda, everything started breaking down after 30 for me. That's right. 30s, fuck. Wait till you're over 50.
I'm not looking forward to that, man. I've done a lot of dumb shit in my days, and I know this stuff's just waiting to come up. Like, I had a shoulder surgery in 2019, and all of the symptoms that I had for that before it eventually blew out at work, I'm having them in my left shoulder now. It's really? Like, this is just a matter of time, isn't it?
I know I'm like a ticking time bomb for like getting hurt at some point. I'm just, I'm not in great shape, so. But I've skated through fucking life. I haven't ever like broken a bone. I haven't ever had. I had one surgery, and it was like a crazy one when I was in high school. I got here's story time for this. So I had to have I was in the hospital for like fucking 3 weeks when I was in like, I don't know, 11th grade or something like that. I got this sinusitis cellulitis, and it was like this sinus whatever thing where it was like I should probably back up here. So it all started from me being a stupid, drunk, idiot kid at one of my friend's house over in Superior, Wisconsin. We were fucking drinking on the weekend, and then all of a sudden we were, during the middle of the day, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh shit, dude, you got to get home soon. We go running outside. I fucking slipped. It was wintertime. I slipped off the back deck and fell into a fluffy snowbank. You're talking about dumb injuries, right? I fell into a fluffy fucking snowbank, no sidewalk underneath it. It was grass. And I chipped my fucking tooth square off in the front. Like I must have just like clanked my teeth together. Well, that fucking tooth, it had exposed the nerve. And then from there, I got this sinus infection. And this sinusitis, whatever the fuck, it like rapidly multiplies all your mucus and your sinus bullshit that it creates at a certain rate that all of a sudden it started filling up my sinus cavities. My fucking head protruded out. My fucking eyes swelled up. It was like fucking nuts. They couldn't figure out what it was. It came out of nowhere. And then so I was in the hospital while they're figuring it out, and so they had to do. At first, they tried going up my nose into my sinus to like relieve the pressure. They couldn't get at it, so they drilled a hole in my fucking eye, like right above my eye, like kind of right up, right where my fucking eyebrow is. So they drilled a hole straight into it, and the surgeon said as soon as he did it, the pressure fucking shot out. It like covered him in fucking just mucus or whatever the fuck that green shit is you blow out. And they put a fucking tube in my head, and I had to fucking take a syringe with like saline for fucking like a couple weeks afterwards and just squirt it up there and just rinse it out. And like, dude, it was gnarly. And it was fucked up, dude. That was the only surgery I ever had to like really go through. But it was nuts, man.
Yeah, that's fucked, man. Those earlier this week, man, Britton fucking broke his tooth in half too. He was out on the trampoline, and that was the primary concern. Was it was just like, okay, is there pulp or nerves or whatever exposed, because that's when the shit's gonna start fucking you up, and you're living proof of that. Like, luckily he didn't have anything in that area, and we got it taken care of. But yeah, we were worried as shit about that.
Wow.
So
yeah, that's fucking nuts, dude. Congestive heart failure here. I had heart surgery 20 years ago. Damn. Well, we're happy you're still with us, Danny. Fucking A.
Agreed.
Man. I mean, Jesus Christ, it might be a crazy time we live in, but thank God for the fucking, the medical, technology and everything. Because, dude, I mean, everything would take you out back in the day, man. It's just like, you're fucked. You're done. Sorry. Or, or you're fucking losing limbs and shit, looking like fucking Monty or something, man. Johnny Brim, that sounds like a badass band name. Sinusitis. Yeah. Dude, I kept that fucking tube forever, man. It's like, just had the fucking gnarly crust and the stitches all on that thing. It was nuts. It was such a weird feeling. Like, I had to take this monster syringe of saline and put it in there and then just squirt it, and I could just, the feeling of like filling up my sinuses on the inside. And then I could like push it out by giving myself pressure, and I could blow bubbles out of the fucking tube, dude. It was fucking nasty. It's so good. I was turning tricks, baby.
Yeah, no shit. I hope you made some money off of that at least.
I may or may not have tried to smoke a cigarette through that tube too. So, again, stupid,
all the
young.
shit we do when we're young.
Still stupid, just older. More fatter.
Yeah, and we don't risk it near as much. And that's exactly it, because like even with the leg situation now, I can walk, like I can do the normal things. It just feels really fucking weird. Like, it's super uncomfortable, but not really painful.
Yeah.
And that's what has the doctors that's what has everybody worried, is it's just like, oh, okay, that's the problem,
Sure.
So they pulled me out of work and all that shit. And I was telling Ann just the other day, it was like, I probably could go to the store and do this, but I'm not gonna. Like, I don't want to have this knee surgery. So playing it much more conservative.
Fuck. Jesus, man. I was gonna ask you, and I'll just say it on a thing in case you do or don't want to talk about it. But is jams something you wanted to speak on, or is that something later? No big deal.
I haven't really given it any thought, just because I haven't figured out. I got to touch base with you. I got to figure out how to do some editing shit that I don't know how to do and that you seem to know how to do. But jams that's just the surname for a little project that I've been kind of working on and stewing and thinking about doing in the spare time here. It stands for Just Another Metal Show. And jams, because I'm witty and fucking awesome.
I think it's awesome,
dude. Essentially, it's just going to be for the music lovers that are out there. We're just going to be talking about new up and coming bands. I want to do a YouTube channel thing with it and all that fun shit.
Cool.
I have the first show planned out, but I haven't done anything with it yet because life and lack of knowledge. It's different when you can go live and just sit there and bullshit.
Yep.
But I want to have actually edited videos with clips and I want to do it the right way, man.
Cool.
I'm a big I don't know if you follow Finn McKinty on YouTube at all, but I'm a big fan of the punk rock NBA.
Okay.
And that was kind of the inspiration for it all, was just that. That's why I call it Just Another Metal Show, because there's fucking thousands of people out there that are doing it. Mine's just going to be another asshole in the fucking ocean. So
that's all right. It's fucking cool, man. Because I think it just, as long as it's something you want to do, fuck it. It's That's where at least it's genuine and it's real, dude.
Absolutely. I just want to have fun with it, man. Like music has always been at the forefront of my life, one way or another. And I could talk about horror and all of that stuff too, but the truth of the matter is, I don't want to talk about horror anymore.
Sure.
So it's
Dude,
like,
yeah.
yeah,
Yep. Music's fucking number one, man. No matter what, I just if I had to give anything, or if I had to give everything else up, I would just fucking listen to tunes and go to concerts and be happy for the rest of my life, man. It's just,
damn right, dude. Live music concerts, that's the happy place.
absolutely.
That is the mecca.
Casey Bedwetter, what up, girl?
Casey, what's happening, lady?
What up, homie chicken? How you flying, fucker?
Are there any movies that any of you have stumbled upon and really like? I found Untraceable last night with Diane Lane and Colin Hanks, and it was decent, kind of twisted. Only part that sucked is that they reveal the killer early in the movie. I've not heard of that one.
Nope.
Stone?
Nope, I haven't heard that. Johnny, one thing that I watched recently with the wife, it was a mini series. It was I think it was on Netflix, but it's Ripley, and it's basically a retelling of The Talented Mr. Ripley. But in kind of a different format. It was fucking cool, man. It was really like well done. It was all shot. It was like all in black and white, and just I really, really dug it, man. I've been trying to. I don't know if Ann watched it or not, but she's always looking for tips or suggestions as she's working and sewing and all that stuff. And I was like, dude, I'm all in on it. I think it was like 8 episodes, but it was really fucking good, man. And it was a bunch of just nobodies. It wasn't because I think the original one, I think it was like Matt Damon or something. I can't even remember. I think I saw it a million years ago, but yeah, that was fucking cool. If you guys haven't watched that, that's got a seal of approval on there. I mean, that's not horror, but it's murder, which is just as cool.
Yeah, one hand washes the other there.
Big Worm, Slaughter to Prevail is getting huge right now. They have been out a while, but growing fast now. Dude, I got to get you on board with this, Shango, because I'm just very new to them as well, and I only knew of them through this Alex Terrible guy, and he's just this fucking, online personality, and it's like, okay, what the fuck? They're amazing, dude. And actually their newest album, to me, as much as I've heard now, is what's amazing. They're like hitting the pinnacle of like the best. They're hitting like their best version of them, or maybe getting better. I've listened to a bunch of the other albums before that, and it's not my thing. I mean, it's
Sure.
not bad, but dude, I put him aside. The music is fucking amazing, dude. There's this one live concert that they put out maybe 8 months ago or something. At my work, in our tool shop, I've got a big screen, whatever, up next to our desks. And on Fridays, I'll do Music Fridays for everybody. We'll put on just a random concert, for the second half of the day. And
Sure.
and my buddy James, he's not into as heavy of music, but he definitely grew up on the new metal and stuff like that. But he's like he's a musician. He plays in a band, and he's like fucking blown away on just the technical, gorgeous fucking. It's amazing, dude. It's so good. And the more I've gotten to watch this Alex Terrible guy, he's actually like a fucking really genuine, kind, cool, crazy dude from Russia, and it's fucking dope, man. I'm like it's hard for me to get down on a new music. I'm just too old, man. Where it all sucks, but I fucking love them, man. They're a really fun band, dude.
Now there's a lot of stuff that's come out in recent years that is incredibly noteworthy. And I do feel that Slaughter to Prevail is up there. I have this thing where I have a hard time remembering their name when the time comes.
Dude, yes. It's very generic.
Yes. I go to look for them in my music app or whatever, and I'm just like, fuck, what's the name of that band? God damn it.
Yes.
But I think they have a song that's called Bratva, Bratva
Yes.
or something.
Yep.
That one, so I just search it by that name. But there's so many bands that are coming out that I just don't fucking get it.
Yeah.
Like Lorna Shore. We'll use Lorna Shore for an example.
Sure.
Like I don't get it.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of stuff that I plan to talk about or whatever on jams is show my age and I'm gonna be that aging fucking rocker that's just like, I don't get what these kids is listening to on these TikTok metal bands. And
the first 20 episodes is gonna be strictly Kiss.
Kiss won't be on the fucking show because they're not really metal. You know what I mean? Like I've never pretended that Kiss was a metal band in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
They're just my favorite rock band. And, yeah.
Dude, I've told you before. I I was never a big Kiss fan. I didn't dislike them by any means, but it was just kind of, I could point out some radio songs, but I never had an album or whatever. And then I had gotten an opportunity to go see them when I was living in Duluth. My stepdad, he was in the service and all this stuff, so he still works in the VFW. They go to like fly colors and flags for like funeral services and stuff like that.
Oh, that's awesome.
And and obviously Gene Simmons is huge about him and Paul supporting the troops and every show they're doing the Star Spangled Banner. And well, so each time they go to a new town, they pick some local veterans or whatever to fly the flags up there when they do that. And they call it the VFW, and they talk to him. So my dad, he is not a rocker by any means, and I don't even know what the fuck he listens to, if he even does. But it's also one day he was like, hey, he goes, Kiss is coming to town. I'm like, oh, cool, man, hey, you want to go that? I'm like, nah, it's all right. And he's like, oh, well, I got tickets. And I'm like, well, you got tickets? He goes, yeah. He goes, I got VIP tickets. I got backstage passes. I got this. We're going to have dinner with them. And your mother doesn't want to go. He goes, do you want to go? I'm like, well, in that case, fuck yeah, dude. Let's do this. Dude. So we went to the deck and we saw them. And, dude, they made a fan out of me, man. They were fucking incredible, especially this was probably, maybe 7 years ago now. But, for them being in their older age, they put on a fucking impressive show. It was like 2 hours long, $1 million fucking production, everything, fireworks, zip lines, multiple. It was fucking amazing, dude.
Oh yeah,
they did a great job.
There is, and I will say this, and I will stand by this until the day I die. You will never see a better concert than Kiss, whether you love them or whether you hate them.
Yeah,
you get your money's worth.
It was great.
Right.
Yeah.
I saw him on that exact tour. That was the Freedom to Rock tour.
Okay.
And I believe that was in like 2014 already. I might be wrong.
I think you're right about right. It was, my daughter was the only one in the family, so that was right around then. So, goddamn.
Yeah, nuts. It's nuts to think. It's just like, fuck, dude, that's been 10 years ago already. But the reason that I remember is Ann actually worked that show when they came here to town here. She was back there working and doing the stage hands and all that for it. And myself and my brother and a couple others were, we were in the crowd watching it. And it was awesome.
That's so cool. The other cool part about going to that show, I had recently broken up with my girlfriend of like 7 years or something, whatever the fuck. And her most favorite fucking band in the world was Kiss, and so I was like, fucking suck it, dude. I'm like, I got like backstage passes. I'm eating dinner with these guys, and I don't even give a fuck, like it was like, dude, it was like
the ultimate fight. Yes.
I wanted to send a picture, of just like me, like with them, and be like, hey, because we got some pictures with them and stuff like that, but. Like,
yeah, I get so much hate for liking Kiss, and I understand why, because when you look at the standard Kiss fan, they've got these 6-figure a year jobs. They're super fucking dorky. They've there is nothing cool about Kiss fans that I have noticed in recent years. They've got these obsessive collections, and it's just like, okay, I get why people make fun of me for this, but at the same time, man, I can't quit. I can't stop it.
Why not? I don't know, man. In fucking Detroit Rock City is a great movie, dude. I fucking love watching that thing. I don't know. I don't see anything wrong with it. It's fun to just kind of give you shit, every once in a while when Bobby's busting your balls, but for the most part, I think it's a fucking, you got to respect where the fuck, the music's evolved from. They were monstrous, and where we are today. So,
I'm pretty sure that Kiss is Bobby's favorite band. He's just not willing to admit it.
Or Bobby just likes to kiss buttholes or something. I get confused.
There you go.
One of those ones. Sam Wincup, hey, my guys, just popped in to say hi. Sam, we love you. SAMSPRINTZ, she did the fucking logo, Space Corps, helped me with multimedia. She's amazing. Hit her up. SAMSPRINTZ, she's on Instagram, Facebook, at SAMSPRINTZ, SAMSPRINTZ. We love that lady. She's the best.
Fantastic fucking human. Absolutely.
She's one of those true fucking gem good people of our community, like Moose Lodge, like Fuller, like there's just people that are just good fucking people, man, and she's one of them.
Yep. 100% agreed.
Dude, Shawn agrees with you. Their performance is one of the best ever. Big Worm says Pantera live Ozfest 2000, great show, opening act for Ozzy main stage. That would have been killer.
Yeah, I never got to see Pantera in their prime.
No, I wish I would have. I sure fucking wish I would have, man.
Yeah, never got to see White Zombie. You know, like that's big, lots of regrets. I never got to see Typo Negative.
Yeah, thank God for Ozfest, man. I got to see a lot of good bands that I probably would have never just been able to go see solo. Just so they just happened to be on the stage too. So it's like I fucking I got to see Judas Priest. Which is somebody I went to gone just on my own. But some of those ones where you just know especially the older ones, you're like, you never know. Somebody's gonna kick the fucking bucket soon.
So Dan Wagner just says, "Do I know all about hate? I've been a juggalo since '95.
Yes.
I couldn't stand when I was a teen and everybody thought we were dressed up as Kiss." Okay, so I'm going to tell you about the day that ICP went from, all right, this is kind of cool, to fuck those guys.
Yeah.
All right, so it was with, I believe it was the Amazing Jekyll Brothers album.
Brothers, yep.
Okay, so they had a song and it was like, fuck this and fuck that and fuck Ted Nugent. You like to hunt a lot. So fucking what?
Right.
Fuck Gene Simmons. And I'm just sitting here, I'm like, this motherfucker's running down all of my favorite rock stars right now. Fuck these guys.
Psycho Circus, you stole my shit.
Yeah, I have, Ann and I have this discussion all the time. I have nothing against ICP.
Yeah.
Nothing. I never have. Their music's okay when you put it on, but it's these weird fucking, and I know you're not the standard juggalo, but every damn time I see juggalos in the natural wild or out in their natural habitat, I'm just like, and people call me weird, I'm gonna go stand the fuck over here.
It's like if you looked at me in high school wise, I was absolutely that, right? I went every time they come to town, face painted, all that. We fucking were idiots carrying around 3 liters of Faygo to class every day, and all that shit. But I'm not that scrubby whatever, because some of them don't break out of it, and I got a fucking family. I got kids. I got real shit going on here. It's like, you got to fucking man up a little bit and clean the shit up. I mean, it's like, again, don't fucking put on the suit and conform to whatever. But it's just like, for Christ's sake, you can't just sit there and fucking smoke weed your whole life and stink and fucking, whatever.
You're hitting the nail on the head. So being being a chef and being in the food and beverage industry for as long as I have, you would not believe the amount of people that I've hired over the years, right?
Sure.
And every once in a while, you would get the juggalo who walks in and his hair's all fucking, he's just scrubby as shit getting ready to cook people's food. And it's like, okay, I'm not going to judge anybody for their outward appearance, whatever. Let's go do this. Yeah. And they fucking weird walk in and they're just like, fuck off. And like all this stupid shit. And it's like, dude, all right, we're over here listening to La Bouche. Okay, like this is a dance track over here, not a fuck off.
Yeah,
or, like all this. I couldn't do it, man. I never understood it. And I'm like, okay, and we're a metalhead. We're hated on. We're called the weirdos too. What the fuck are these guys?
Yeah. Okay, Shawn, let me clarify here, Mr. Heim. Smoke your weed all day, that's fine. What I guess what I really mean, the wife and I, we were driving down in Minneapolis the other day, and all of a sudden we're at an intersection. There's just some people crossing the crosswalk, and there's like a dude who looks like he's like 40, and his girlfriend, and they're just scrubby as hell looking. They got the fucking drug rug on, and it's just like, you just look gross as fuck. It's just like, for Christ's sake, I don't know. I mean, obviously, I'm not some beautiful man, and I'm not saying like that. But there's just something about, like, I don't know. I guess I can't even defend it. I smoke your weed, man. Nothing against that by any means.
Yeah, I got nothing against weed. Nothing against weed, but I do have something against taking bong rips out of your juggalette girlfriend's asshole in front of 75 people at a party, and that's the kind of people I'm talking about.
You keep seeing that picture of that like meme or whatever, that bumper car sticker, and it says like, I got fisted by on meth at a juggalo concert or something like.
All right. Weird juggalo guys over there taking body shots off of himself and shit. Like,
And then that fucking kid that like jumps like backward wrestles into shit. You see that he's like, this is for juggalos and juggalettes, whoop whoop, and he like jumps into like the
Yes.
weakest shit, and also he's like ah, like,
Yes, and he's got a new video like every fucking week. Yeah, I've seen
fuck
it.
this shit.
Yep, and he's got to psych himself up first.
Yeah. I hope he's making money, man, because
Oh, he's definitely making money.
yeah, dude. I mean, I loved ICP. It's like, but I'm like old school where it's like that first 6 Joker's cards was where it's at, and then there's like this new era where I mean, you can argue before if they were whack or not, or like good rappers or not. I've never claiming that, but it definitely changed after that, and it's very fucking whack to me. It's like it's embarrassing to listen to that, and yeah, this other stuff is kind of corny and old, but I fucking love it, man. I still put it on all the time, and I'm fucking whatever. But yeah, after those 6, and then nowadays the weird thing. So Shaggy 2 Dope. He's doing amazing right now. He does podcasts. He's got his own solo stuff. They're still a band, right? They're still together. They still tour. But Shaggy's amazing. He's doing his own thing. But Jay on the other side is a fucking train wreck right now. So he's fucking drugged the fuck out. I don't know if he's on meth, amphetamines, or something. He's on pills. He's on stuff. But he's got these grills, and when he talks, he fucking grinds, and you can't even hear what he's saying. And he is now submersed in like he's at conventions. He's gotten onto like the comedy podcast scene, so I'm starting to see him more often, but it's so embarrassing because he thinks he's like being smart, and like nobody knows that he like is fucked up, and it's like it's so embarrassing, dude. I'm just like oh my god.
That's not good, man. I don't like seeing anybody getting gripped in that shit. I really don't. It's not glamorous, it's not rock star shit, it's just yeah. So I had, like what year did God damn it, Great Milenko. That album came out in what, 97?
97.
Okay.
Yep.
So in 97, I was a young shit show. In 97, I think I was 15 maybe, yeah, something like that.
Sure.
And so they were popular. New metal was coming up. This whole alternative music thing was going on. And it was an amazing time to be alive. It really was, especially when you're young and you got your finger on the pulse. Before the internet, all you had was music magazines and your friends. That was it.
Sure.
And, I went to the store, and probably Hot Topic at the time. And I had bought the album, and I bought a t-shirt, the Great Milenko t-shirt, because dude, that album was pretty fucking cool. And I know that everybody's like, oh, that's their sellout album. That's when all the hipsters came along.
Oh, fuck that.
Probably. That's what happens. But I bought this t-shirt, and I remembered wearing it to school. And, so the Juggalos, or the Greenville Jokers, as they were called here in town, they were like a fucking white trash, poor people gang that all they represented was ICP and, and it was those kind of people. So this one dude walks up to me in school one day, and he's like, "You're not allowed to wear that shirt." And I'm like, "Why the fuck not?"
Oh, nice.
Because you're not down with the clown. You're just a hipster. You're because they're popular now. I should just rip that shit off of you right now. And I made the mistake of looking at the guy, and I was just like, "What the fuck's stopping you?" And he comes over and he grabs the shirt and he starts to rip it, and we just fucking just scrapped like you wouldn't believe. And at that point, it was just like, okay, you know what? Maybe I'm okay being just a metalhead at this point, because if this is what's gonna happen, it ain't worth it to me.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was ugly, man.
God, that's fucking wild, dude.
Yep. See, and this is why I want to do jams, man. This shit right here.
Yes, dude. Shawn say 97, you were 15. Fuck, kids, stay the hell off my lawn.
Yeah, I was a young, and I turned 18 in 2000. So, yeah.
Yep, Dan knows what I'm talking about. I definitely listened to the first 6. Not much new after that. His comedy skit was absolutely awful and cringe. Dude, it's just that he needs fucking help, man. And I think it's really driving them two apart, because Shaggy is not. I think he probably drinks, or something, on a more responsible fucking level. He just seems like he's got his life a lot more fucking, he's in good health. He's this. And I think it's just like, dude, he's not going to separate because that's the money maker, right? It's the business, but I can just see, he's kind of doing his own solo shit. He's doing his stuff. He's doing his podcast. He's just kind of like, off on the side, like doesn't really want to associate with it, which I wouldn't either, man. Fuck it,
Which is the one that was fat and then lost all the weight?
That's Jay. Yeah, Violent Jay. So he's the fucking one's all cracked out right now.
Damn.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, and then you wonder how he lost the weight, right? He's just, yikes.
Fair enough. I'm a different breed, I guess. While everyone was on the ICP train, I was jamming on the Bloodhound Gang. I never got into them either.
Dude, I was getting to Bloodhound, man. Especially when I was in middle school. Use Your Fingers and the fucking One Fierce Beer Coaster, and then when they got big with that Bad Touch, song, where they're jumping around in monkey suits. Hooray for Boobies. Those 3 albums are really fucking good, man. Those guys were wild too. They that was actually when we were talking about on Fridays when we do the random concerts and stuff, we put on an old Bloodhound Gang from like fucking maybe 98 in Germany or something, and they are just wild, dude. They're fucking barfing on each other. They're just doing like just sick weird shit, and yeah, it was nuts, man.
There was I saw a clip, everybody always tells me that as far as good shows are concerned, you've got Kiss, obviously, and then it's always Rammstein comes in at second place.
Yes.
And I saw a video, probably just this morning, of some of their pyro and their stage setup. And I can tell you, as a fucking stagehand, I don't want to be the one to set that shit up. That looks like a motherfucker. But they did this neat pyro thing where he shoots a gun that goes 2 different ways.
Yeah.
And it hits 2 different towers, blows them up, sends shit back, and then blows up the rest of the stage. And I'm just sitting, okay, that's fucking impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, it was wild. So I fortunately got to go see that stadium tour that they just, did. COVID canceled it once, and then they rescheduled, and then, and then it finally happened. But they came here, and they were at the US Bank Stadium, and it was fucking amazing, man. I've been a massive Rammstein fan my whole life. Like, I took like 5.5 years of German. I mean, I religiously fucking followed them. I could probably sing along to the first 7 albums, but that fucking show was unbelievable, and they had big signs, and they go, please don't videotape and put this on the internet as much, because they're, they really craft the show, for the fan experience and stuff. But dude, I mean, like, just the fucking the heat. I had so it was in the stadium, but then the main, the floor, the pit, they split it in half. So the front half of it was the Fire Zone, and that was special tickets, and then the back half was just regular pit. Well, I got Fire Zone tickets on the pre-sale, and dude, I mean, it just, at first, I you're in this brand new stadium, that, and I'm like, they weren't blowing off fire right away for like the first 3 or 4 songs, and I was like, dude, I bet they made them scale it back because they didn't want to damage shit. I'm like, this is fucking stupid. Oh no, they just eased into it, and then it was like, dude, you felt like you were getting roasted alive up there, let alone be the guys up on the stage. Of course, I mean, they're conditioned. They've been doing it for fucking 30 years. Sure. But dude, yeah, the pyrotechnics are just gorgeous, dude. It's so
it was unbelievable from what I saw. Only other band that I've seen that has done something that's that impressive with pyro would be Kiss. Like, legitimately, you could be in the nosebleeds and you'd feel the heat from those 40-foot tower firewalls, and But yeah, I know that's one of Ann's bucket list bands. I got to get her to a Rammstein show.
Sure.
Yeah. Show the mushroom head shirt more. That's little Dan giving you the finger, buddy.
Yeah, baby.
Then on the back it says "fuck you," because I'm classy.
Dude.
Yep.
I had this shirt. It just reminds me of that now. So when Devil Driver first came out, fucking huge Devil Driver fan, but I mean a Cold Chamber fan to begin with, so also then to find out Dez was back, and then all of a sudden the fucking that Freddy versus Jason soundtrack came out, and that fucking had whatever
fucking everybody,
yeah, dude,
Swinging the Dead,
and he's Swinging the Dead. Thank you, and Dude, it's fucking amazing, you know. So we caught them on their first tour. I've seen them a bunch of times, but one of their first original shirts that they came out with was the cool group shot of them with Devil Driver up there, and it was this cool green, fucking glowing kind of tone, but on the back in just huge letters. You know, I could fucking care less, and I just loved it. You know, I was just a young kid. I got I'm wearing that everywhere. You're like, fuck everybody. Right. Dude, it's my most favorite fucking metal shirt I fucking ever had. And then yeah, it's one I just don't have anymore nowadays. I wish you could find. No, dude, metal shirts, old school vintage shirts. I cannot believe what that shit's worth, dude. I used to wear every fucking one of those. They're like $300 a piece. Fuck.
Yeah, dude. So going back to what you just said, so this shirt, this exact shirt, right? Yeah. I have so many shirts that say offensive shit on the back. Like it's normal to me at this point.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I had 3 kids and I'm walking around with a fucking 5-year-old who's all cute, blonde hair, blue eyed, in her dress, whatever.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm holding her hand as we're walking into a restaurant. And I realized I'm wearing this shirt that says "fuck you" in real big letters on the back. And
yeah.
I looked at Ann, and Chris Adkins was there too. And I was like, okay, I think I just realized that I'm a dad. I shouldn't be doing this anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yep.
It just,
but
yeah.
I used to have some of these shirts. You're not even kidding. But yeah, I will never forget the Freddy vs. Jason soundtrack because of that song.
Yeah.
You know, the first time I hear it, I'm like, Devil Driver, that's kind of a cool name. Who the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And then, of course, you know, the internet was still new back then, and not a lot of us had it, but you damn sure recognized Dez's voice right off the bat. You're just like, fucking Cold Chamber's done? Like, what's happening? You know, because back then it was alien to have a side project band. You know,
sure.
Like, oh, he can't be in 2 bands. What are they going to do over here?
Right.
But yeah, that song was killer. Abso-fucking-lutely killer.
You know, for the youngsters watching this, as we say, before internet times, our metalhead internet universe was called Hit Parader, Circus Magazine, Metal Hammer. You know, you went to fucking Barnes and Nobles, you went to whatever, went over the magazine areas, and we fucking, dude, those posters, those little shitty 1-page posters, you know, and then the full. I had my fucking room when I was a kid was just a grid, not a fucking inch. Didn't have just fucking metal posters left and right, dude.
Same. Yeah. And I used to get mad when they would put random bands in there. Like I'll never forget one issue. There was a Fozzy poster in there, and it had Chris Jericho. And I'm sitting here looking at it. I was like, this looks like Chris Jericho, the wrestler. What the fuck is it? And I found out he was in a band called Fozzy. And I'm like, I'm not sure if this is cool or fucking suck. And then I listened to him, and it was fucking suck. But, you know, it was funny, man. I miss those posters, dude. No magazines do that shit anymore.
Dude, for sure. Circus was my favorite one, I think, out of all of them. I mean, Hit Parader was good, too. But, you know, dude. That was just the heyday of new metal and stuff. Just, Jesus Christ. I'm sure those fucking things are worth money, too, you know, if you kept those intact.
I was always big on Revolver. That was my favorite one.
And one as well, yes.
Yep. I still, dude, they're on Facebook. I still subscribe to their Facebook thing or whatever. But
yeah, they do like vinyl record special releases and stuff now, too, like through them, like Revolver series vinyls and shit like that.
Yeah.
Which I think that's where I got. So Cold Chamber put out a box set of all their fucking albums. Because some of them weren't even previously released on vinyl. So I fucking bought that. It was like limited to, I don't know, maybe 500 made or something like that. But yeah, I think I got it through them. Chris Atkins, what up, buddy?
What's up, Truck?
Big Truck. Speaking of Cold Chamber.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Cold Chamber's back on tour now. It's kind of cool. They're nostalgically, they get back together to do a tour every once in a while, you know, and they did put out that one newer album, you know, maybe 4 years ago, which was okay, but...
You know what? Let's talk about Cold Chamber for a minute.
Do it. Yes.
So, you remember Raina, right? Yep. The original bass player. She went on to marry Morgan Rose from Seven Dust, had kids, all that. She was replaced by Naja Poulin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you have a preference? Did you prefer seeing Raina or Naja on stage? Do you remember?
No, I don't. I know I caught them at Ozfest when I was really, you know, right in the beginning, but then I never saw them again until they reunioned, you know, in like, you know, the middle of 2010 something, whenever the fuck that was. What about you?
I prefer Naja, dude. You know, and I follow her, friends with her on Facebook and all that shit, even to this day. and she's the one that goes. She's with him now. Like Raina's a fucking mess. Her and Morgan are divorced, and
Oh, sure.
last I knew, she was missing, and she was strung out on drugs, which is really, really terrible to think about, because back in the day, she was not only gorgeous, but she was also promising.
Sure.
And then, you see her now, she's a train wreck, but Naja's still out there doing her thing, and she's still fucking headbanging. Like, she was the only chick I have ever seen that could play the bass, outside of Shawn from White Zombie, that could play the bass, and she would do, like, she had this weird spin headbang move that she did while she was spinning, and it was just dope as hell.
That's
like,
cool.
And this isn't oh God, she's hot, like, oh, I want to lick her butthole and drink her bathwater. It's not anything stupid like that. It is legit. This chick looked badass on stage, and that was always cool to me. Like female fronted metal is this thing now, and it's a big subject.
Yeah.
Because there's fucking douchebags that are like, exactly like that. Oh, I'm gonna lick her butt and then drink her bathwater, and she's so hot. Which, of course, we all agree. Everybody knows that they're attractive women, but that's not the fucking point. Like, these chicks are badass. Like, they're doing things out there that I have never expected. Like, think about Ginger. I'm not big on the band, but her vocal abilities, man, unfucking believable.
Oh, she's amazing.
Yep. It's like I said, I'm not huge on Ginger. Everybody went through this phase a couple of years ago, like, oh, Ginger, and it's like, yeah, sit, stay, roll over. I've known about Ginger before they started getting big, and the older shit, I hate saying that, but the older shit was definitely better than what we've gotten recently. But
it's something that's like, I like the idea of them. I like some sounds, but I just can't get into as much, just because there's still just that element of like too singy. I'm just like, kind of chick band, kind of, but she's fucking badass, I mean, don't get me wrong. But I think when it was younger, I stuck with OTEP. I thought she was pretty kick ass, but then she went too fucking weird artsy out there now. That sucks. But I was never a big fan of like the other, like Arch Enemy. I just couldn't really get into her much. I liked Kitty for the first album, and then after that, Morgan started just getting fucking out there too. And
Arch Enemy with Angela she was one of the first chicks that actually scared me.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie. It's just like, all right, this chick would probably punch me in the fucking face and not think twice about it. But she was also a hero too. Like, she took female fronted, or she took that term and completely wiped it off the map for a while there, because she was just aggressive and fucking nasty with what she was doing. And it was awesome, man. I was a big fan of Arch Enemy.
Sure. And so, Kitty, when they came out, with Spit, whatever, and, that brackish song, it was cool. I won tickets to see them off of like, the 94X radio station, call in, whatever. Sure. I won tickets to go see them. And this was when their like second album, I don't even know what it was called, came out. And so I went to go see them, and I think 36 Crazy Fists was on the bill, which was fucking awesome.
Nice.
But so when I was in high school, the one thing I didn't like about metal tunes, I didn't like the really high vocals. Like Cradle of Filth, I never got into them much. I just And so all of a sudden I was like, oh cool, I'm pumped to see Kitty. Well, this was when their second album came out, and so Morgan comes out, and she's just like all she did the whole time, she just like stood in front of like the fucking, the mic stand, but she just had her hands out. And she's, the whole time. And like, she's like spit was like coming out. And I just remember being like this young kid in this crowd looking at her. And I was like, ew, like what the fuck? Like, I was so turned off, dude. Like,
stop doing that. You got spit on me.
Gross. Yuck.
I know your song's called Spit, but stop it.
Yeah. Look, what's the next hit? Drool? Jesus Christ. Put your arms down. Like, she should have had those, like, fucking, like, leather tassels or something, the way she was, like, holding out.
Yeah, like, Cradle of Filth, man, they were, they've never been anything more to me than a t-shirt band. They had one song that I liked, and I think it was called Nymphetamine Fix or something.
Yeah.
But, yeah, some of the black metal bands that are out there, nothing more than t-shirt bands, but,
yeah.
Sean just asked, what was the first concert you guys ever went to?
Ooh, great question. You first.
Me first. I don't want to go first. Mine's embarrassing.
All right, I got a good one. At least for me, I'll stick by it. When I was in middle school, my ma was cool enough to understand that music was really my fucking thing. And even though I was a young kid, she She always worked in restaurants and stuff, so she always kind of knew the cool people around. One of the waitress's boyfriends ran the tattoo shop in Hudson, so she talked to him. His name was Jay, and he brought me to the Family Values tour '99. I wish I would have gone to '98. I mean, that was Rammstein, that was fucking A. But I went to '99, which was still killer for me. Just being a fucking my first bands when I was in a new metal. I mean, it was like Korn, Slipknot, Limp Bizkit, all that shit. It was a fucking killer show. I got to shake hands with Jonathan Davis and Fred Durst and a couple of them.
Yeah, yours is much cooler than mine.
Spill
it. So my first official concert was Kiss, and that was in 2000. I saw them on the Psycho Circus. No, it was the farewell tour, the first farewell tour.
Yeah.
But my first actual concert was a Christian band called DC Talk.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah. I was 14 years old, and they came to town here, and they were on their Jesus Freak tour.
Jesus,
and my parents
just all right. That's them, right?
No, it was, I don't really care if they label me a Jesus freak. There is no disguising the truth or whatever. Just really fucking tacky. And it was the most blatant Nirvana ripoff ever.
Yeah.
It was terrible. But when I was a kid at 14, that was the coolest damn thing in the world because my parents were going through that weird, crazy Christian phase where, hey, you're not allowed to watch Beavis and Butthead or The Simpsons. You can't listen to this.
Sure.
So, yeah. But yeah, it was all downhill after I saw Kiss, man. That was a game changer for me. No, I do not like Bullet for My Valentine.
Yeah, I haven't listened much. It's hard for me, like I said, to really get into anything newer, for what I grew up on. Stubborn old man shit,
Sure.
Kitty's coming back. That's true. They got a new album out, and they actually have a new single. It's pretty fucking good, to be honest with you. The music video is pretty good. I dug it. I only listened to it once or twice, but I thought it was pretty good. Zach Klimper, whose butt are we licking?
Yours, Zach. Welcome to the show.
You ever listen to the band Overkill? Great drummer.
My first concert was Def Leppard with Journey opening. That would have been awesome, man. So way back in the day, there used to be a concert series here in the summer that was called Rivercade.
Sure.
And for every Rivercade, they'd bring in, certain like legendary-ish bands, the more affordable stuff. This would have been the late 90s. So they were usually bands that had their big break, in the 80s or whatever. I saw Def Leppard on the Euphoria tour. And they were in here, and it was a free concert. So you would go to this, pavilion or whatever down by the river, and it was always packed because we're in the middle of bumfuck Egypt, so anything free with something cool attached to it, everybody and their mom's going to go. But I saw Def Leppard. That was, the list of concerts I've seen is much, much bigger now. But yeah, Def Leppard put on a good show.
Yeah, I think another good question is like, what's everybody's weirdest concert they've seen? Like off the beaten path. I know for me, I got when I was working at there's this cool small franchise called Pizza Luce, and it's kind of more of like the fucking hipster, more expensive, really good fucking pizza, like baked potato pizzas and just kind of weird shit. But you go there and there's that's where live music is. That's where all the walls are hung with like rotating like art exhibits of local artists and shit. It's just kind of where the cool fucking people, the cool kids went to.
Sure.
But when I was working there, the Cisco food rep gave they'd come by with free tickets every once in a while, and so I got to see Stained one time. This isn't my off the beaten path one, but I got to do meet and greets with Stained and shit when they came to town. Duluth, Minnesota, we don't get the best bands either, but we got these weird fucking tickets. I went to go see Brooks and Dunn just because it was like fucking free tickets. Why not? Because my mother, I took my mother because I remember as a kid before, like my earliest memories of music was country. My dad and my mom, I guess, listened to that. Nowadays, neither of them do. But it went from country was the only music I ever knew as a really, really young kid to then watching Coolio's Gangster's Paradise on MTV. And then all of a sudden I was like, there was rap, and then all of a sudden there was rock, and there was metal. That was kind of the progression. But getting to all of a sudden take my mother to go see Brooks and Dunn for free, I'd never spent a dime on it, at the deck, and dude, it was the weirdest fucking concert. Like, we felt like we were just mullet hunting the whole time. We were laughing at people. They had the biggest like inflatable like probably 15, 20-foot tall inflatable cowgirls on like saddles, and like people were back there rocking them or something on stage, and like dude, we were just laughing, like we felt like dicks, so we were just like basically they were just ripping on everybody. But yeah, yep, saw Brooks and Dunn.
You know, when it comes to weird concerts, I'd probably have to go with a band called Boba Flex.
Oh, I've heard of them.
Yeah, they were different. You know, you had the one guy who hiked his guitar all the way up here, and you know, was like,
Yeah,
I mean, I guess they were good at what they did, but it was not really my thing. It's like they were trying to be Adam from Killswitch full time.
sure.
You know, just running around doing. And I mean, it was fun. Don't get me wrong, but yeah.
Well, we're just talking tunes. I don't think we're gonna stop talking about it. So there was a cool fucking concert experience, right, where it was like a gateway to, you know, I was in that area of like, I don't give any new bands a chance, but unless I see them live, that was kind of like the foot in the door for me. Like, if you impressed me live, then I liked your shit, right? So my brother's 5 years younger than me, and you know, we didn't always hang out all the time just because the age difference a little bit. You know, by the time I was too cool for, you know, him, I was smoking cigarettes with friends and shit, you know, whatever. But he started getting into metal a little bit, but he was off on his own little tune, and he was big into Dragon Force for a little while. You know, he was more of kind of a nerdy Xbox kid and all that. Dragon Force. So I'm like, you know, whatever. So they were coming to town, and they actually came to town on his birthday or something, you know. So I thought, like, you know, I'm like, dude, I'm gonna surprise him with these tickets, bring him down to the cities, and he almost didn't even go with me. He was like, oh, well, I'm just gonna do something different. I'm like, the fuck you are, you know. I guilt tripped him basically into going, but
right.
So when we went there, the opening band was I think that was Municipal Waste when they first started. Whatever, they're okay. But Power Glove. Have you ever heard of them?
I have.
So yeah, so they're like a fucking NES like video game, you know, themed, you know, metal band.
Yep.
They come out, dude. They're fucking, you know, and they're all in their whole setup. You know, their drummer comes out, and he's got basically like football pads, like shoulder pads, but he's got like turtle shells from Mario on there. And so they're like spiked turtle shells, and then he's got like these two big fucking staffs with flags hanging off him. So he's like 8 foot tall, but then when he goes in the back and he's like drumming and shit, dude, like these fucking flags are waving around, and they were fucking fun, dude. Also, they split everybody up for the Wall of Death, and then they have some stagehands come out with boxes of inflatable swords, and they throw them out to everybody. So we're all fucking in the pit, like looking at each other with all this, and you know, also it's like, on my command, unleash hell, you know, and everybody's fucking, dude, it was so much fun. And we I'll stop the story in a second, but so that was fun. I was like, this is kind of a cool show. And then a band called Teresa's came out, and they are a Finnish battle metal band. And this is where I want to get your ear on it, because you're a Game of Thrones guy, as am I. This is one of my most favorite metal bands, obscure metal bands. They came out with fucking black and red war paint and like old fucking like, you know, medieval, like, you know, like fucking sheepskin, wolfskin, whatever. They came out, they got this beautiful girl that plays like the accordion and shit, and it's the most triumphant fucking, like, it's like sword slashing in the fucking midst of war. It's unbelievable, dude. Like, you know, the singer, he actually sing really well. It's really good growls, a lot of this. I gotta send you a couple fucking tracks to hear every once in a while.
I'd actually like that. I am all about any of that kind of stuff as long as it is presented well.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to play the music to back up the show.
Yes.
You know, like I'm going to get hate for this, but I'm going to say it anyways. There are bands out there that are known more for the stupid shit that they do on stage versus their music. And I always go to Gwar for this, for the example.
Yep.
And I've got nothing against Gwar. I think that Gwar is an okay band. Would I pay to go see them? Probably not. But, you know, they get up there and they do this ridiculous shit. They're known for the stupid costumes more than the music. And some people would say that about Kiss too. But, you know, if they can get up there and they can do it right and the presentation matches the level of badass that the music does, fuck yeah, dude. I'm all for that shit.
Dude, hell yeah. Yeah, I think if it wasn't for Beavis and Butthead at a young age, I wouldn't have even given Gwar any bit of a chance. But, you know, I just, their music is not, I don't get that. You know, I like that fucking an animal song. I think that's funny as hell, but that's about it.
They had one that I liked called Meat Sandwich, and I only got through about 2 minutes of it before I had to change it each and every time. It was just like, all right, so the beginning's cool, but we're done here.
Yeah, exactly, right?
So Johnny Brim says he paid to see the Beach Boys about 7 years ago.
Oh, Jesus.
Temptations opened and one of the guys died after the show. He sure danced his ass. So, for the record, I am a metalhead, as everyone knows, but I am a music lover in general.
Sure.
Okay, so when it comes to the Temptations, old school Motown, I fucking love that shit.
Hell yeah.
I love R&B. I fucking worship the ground that Mariah Carey walks on. Okay, you know, like there is, I even like fucking 90s Euro dance music, you know, like those fucking Jock Jam CDs that used to come out.
Yeah.
Like I'm a music lover in general. My preferred genre is, of course, metal.
Yes.
But the only genre that I have never been able to get down with was rap. So I see absolutely nothing wrong with the Beach Boys. I don't, you know, if it's your thing and you have fun, that's what it's all about.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I got into a good swing for a while when I was, you know, getting into like 18, 19, 20. I got really into like, you know, Floggy Molly and Irish punk music and stuff. And that kind of Celtic instruments got me then into the gateway of bluegrass music. And Old Crow Medicine Show is like one of my top favorite bands ever. And I actually got to finally see them live. But to me, due to the fucking bluegrass, because like, you know, like I said, I kind of, you know, I was not into, but I knew of 90s country, late 80s country, you know, stuff like that, you know, and then when I was like, you know, teenage years, always dogging on that, you know, blah, 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 fuck country, but bluegrass is something on its own because it is like fucking metal music with just fucking fast, I mean, and just to the idea to me that those guys can go in the middle of the woods and play a show and not have to plug into anything, you know, and still just go fucking crazy. I love it, dude. It's just, it's a good fucking time. We are also we're the birthplace of Trampled by Turtles too. Was up in Duluth, Minnesota at Pizza Luce. The mandolin player was a line cook. I mean, I know these guys. When I went in for that surgery, my mother, you know, was a single ma. We had a huge medical bill from, you know, 3 weeks staying in the hospital. Trampled by Turtles put on a show to raise money for my fucking, you know, medical bills or whatever. That was right when they were just starting to get big, you know, but yeah, they played it. The Pizza Luce is their home where they started. That's where it was the birth or whatever. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but you know, they're pretty.
I have not heard of them.
Gotcha.
But there is so much out there musically that whenever I meet one of those people that are like, no, I only listen to metal. I'm like, no, buddy. I'm talking about the shit you listen to when nobody else is there.
Exactly.
You're not being judged. And, no, man, I only listen to metal. And like that approach to me is just foolish because there is a whole fucking world of music out there.
Yeah.
That is just ready to be discovered.
Yeah.
And, you know, those people are just robbing themselves. Like you have to have known somebody like that, right?
Of course. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's just like all I watch is horror movies. Okay, horror movies are great, but I love comedy movies. I love, you know, I love a lot of stuff. I love documentaries. I love that, you know. It's like, dude, you're depriving yourself for not, going to variety of things. I mean, there's more to the world than just that. And
absolutely,
you can have preference of that. That's great too, you know. But fuck, man.
My 5-year-old, she'll get in my car and I'll play Mr. Vane, for example. You know, like I'll let you look up that song later so you can hear it. But my 5-year-old, she knows all the words to it because of how often I listen. You know, like I don't want to have my kids grow up thinking that there is only one style of music because that's predominantly what they hear here.
Yep.
You know, and my kids, I want them to be as musical as I am, and I want them to be able to perform different genres. And I can't do that one-dimensional shit.
Dude, absolutely. And that, you know, and that's one thing I play some really, I'll play Slaughter to Prevail or something around like my daughter and stuff like that. And it's not just to be like, I hope you like this, you know, like not trying to push my influence on there, but I just want that to be like, that's just a known kind of music too that's out there. It's just like, that's not some weird alienated, you know, the devil worshiping fucking, you know, whatever, stay away from that music. No, that's normal, just as normal as, you know, your Taylor Swift and, you know, all this. It's just like, it's all out there. What do we want to hear now? Okay, let's put that on there. I'll fucking, you know, I might not know the words to it, but, you know, I'll I'll enjoy
Yep.
it or whatever. Try to at least,
Yeah, it's and metal's always going to be my first love.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. It's the first music that I ever reacted to emotionally and felt, that, like, we feel the music, otherwise we don't like it. I mean, that's just a thing.
For sure.
But yeah, dude, there's so much good shit out there. It's just a matter of finding it, and you won't ever hear it on the radio. That's pretty much true.
Yep.
Especially nowadays.
Yeah.
But
it's so funny with my like daughter's, she's turning 10 tomorrow, actually, Zelda is, but she doesn't understand the concept of like radio, like I put it on the truck and she's just like, change the song, like hit next or whatever. And you're like, no, girl, this is where it's at. Then also we'd hit bad like reception, all of a sudden it started getting staticky and she's like, what's going on? And you're like, girl.
Yeah. Sean Heim just said, oh, I thought you were going to say Mr. Mister. Fun little story here, Sean Heim. Mr. Mister and Broken Wings. That was my dad's ringtone on my phone for many, many years.
Was it?
Many, many years. Yep. I have no issues against Mr. Mister.
Music is the only universal language. I love it.
I agree.
You know what you guys need? You need some green jello in your lives.
Wasn't that the band that was in Dumb and Dumber?
Is it green jello or green jelly? I think.
Yeah.
See, I never got into it much, but I know of the one fucking song. I just can't think of it right now. It's been a very long time, but I know they've got a good following
or whatever.
Yeah, I got into some weird bands too, like just out the weird beaten path. But did you ever listen to like Mindless Self-Indulgence?
I never got into them. I remember them being around.
Yeah,
but it was never really my thing.
Sure.
But I had a lot of friends that really enjoyed them.
Yeah, that came at a time where I was just a weirdo fucking kid in high school, like, smoking cigarettes, taking Adderall, doing whatever the fuck, just the weird shit,
Yeah,
those are some wild shows, man. But yeah, that was some crazy music, I
think it was MSI, Skinny Puppy, KMFDM, they all started to gain a little bit of notoriety around the same time, as I recall.
Sure.
Industrial, it's not really, I never really got into industrial. I just couldn't do it. Unless it was Fear Factory.
Maynard from Tool was in Green Jello? Was he really?
Seriously?
Originally Green Jello, then Jello sued them, and then they switched to Jelly. Oh, man.
I did not know that Maynard was in Green Jello or Jelly or whatever.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I mean, I knew that was older, so they're probably late 80s, early 90s, then when that shit was around. I mean, fuck yeah, Tool's been since, I think, at least, I'm not a huge Tool buff, but, I know they've been around for a good minute.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what they had a really popular song. And I think I remember the riff, but I don't remember what it was called. Bam, 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 bam. Yeah, I think that's them, right?
I think so. Yeah, no lie.
I don't remember.
It up. We believe you. We believe you, Johnny. Come on now. Oh, yeah. See, that's again, concert life is where it's at. I mean, just talk about opening up. Yeah, Three Little Pigs. There we go. That's the song. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, when I saw MSI, they would, that would just open up the weirdest fucking bands that they would tour with. And I remember them touring with this band, which I'm sure are no longer in existence, but they were called Uncle Fucker, and they came out with golden assless chaps, and they were like a country western looking setup, but they were playing like, I don't even know if you'd call it metal or something, but dude, there's just the weirdest fucking, it just attracts, right?
Yeah. Boy, yeah, music is life. And I can't believe that this has been predominantly our discussion tonight. I didn't expect that.
Well, good segue. If you guys are enjoying this, fucking watch out for the new endeavors of Mr. Shango with the jams and all that shit, dude. I can't fucking wait, man.
Yeah, hopefully I can figure it out, and then at least have enough people that are interested enough to pay attention to it, because there's going to be a lot of hot takes on shit that I don't like that most people do, and the 5-finger death punch and all that stuff.
It's really funny. As much as I just do not like 5-finger death punch, I am a huge Moto Grader fan. Which was
same.
They were amazing, you know. And
Yes, they were.
for anybody that doesn't know, that was Ivan Moody. He fronted a band called Motograder, you know, at the height of, you know, 2000, you know, Ozfest time, and they put out one album, and it was fucking amazing. It's incredible.
They were, and I know you know this already, but they had one of the key tracks on the 2003 Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, and the video used to be on it for Breathe, and yeah, I think it was Breathe, but yeah, they were good, man. The Motograder was actually a custom bass that they made themselves, and it was like fucking 9 feet long.
Yeah, they like roll it on stage.
Yep, sure did. Yeah, and they were good, man. They toured with Mushroom Head for a bit, and yeah, they were good, man. I liked them. And then Five Finger Death Punch comes out of nowhere, and they're suddenly on the radio. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I swear to God, it's just the name that's where, you know, all the douchebag normal people just fucking pivoted to. You know, oh cool, you know. I can do the Five Finger Death Punch, you know, like all the fucking Kyles drinking Monster, and you know, those dicks.
Yeah. Metal for people that don't like metal. You know, it's the romanticized notion of who they view themselves as, but are not at all. Like, I'm a battle-hardened veteran, bro, and now I'm going to get in the octagon, and I'm going to go out to the bleeding by Five Finger Death Punch, man, because I feel that in my heart. No. No.
Ivan had the red full body paint. He did. Motograder would come out completely in black and white ash and this, and then and Ivan was just red, and I think he had some white on him a little bit, you know, but you know, he's always, you know, again, I couldn't imagine him to be that likable of a guy in general. I think he's just kind of a douchey guy, but I mean I really enjoyed his, you know, his vocals on that fucking album, dude.
It's like a dollar store Fred Durst.
Dollar store Fred Durst. Dude,
I mean,
go ahead.
I like the work in Motograder.
Yeah.
But yeah, every time I see him in Five Finger Death Punch, the way he's dressed and all that shit, it's like the dollar store Fred Durst. That's
for sure. So when I went to my first show, the Family Values tour, the kind of unique setup that they did is that in the very middle of the pit, they sectioned off, they like metal guardrailed off this big square, and inside there they had the sound guy, you know, with the boards and everything there. But then they also made it not VIP, but it was an area called the living room, because it's Family Values, you know, tour. So it's themed on it. So it was called the living room, and there was a couple of couches, and the bandmates from all the bands would come and hang out there. That was like the green room in the middle of the whole pit, right? And so when we got there, the show has already started. Stained was actually opened up, and so you know, we didn't have great positioning in the you know, the pit was already filled up, so we kind of came to the back, and then we made our way up to the front. But we gravitated towards that railing of the living room or whatever they called it, because I was so small, you know, I could kind of stand up on the side there, and I wasn't getting crushed and all that. But I found out that all of a sudden, I was starting to like see people as they're walking through. Security guards were escorting them through, so I got to shake hands with John Davis. Well, Fred Durst came through, and I remember I didn't get to see him or talk to him for a second, but somebody right next to me, this like girl she had a hat, and she's like, "Will you sign this?" And he looked at her and he goes, "For $50," and then just walked past her. And I was like, holy shit, what an asshole, you know. And I was a big Limp Bizkit fan, you know. A $3 bill is fucking awesome. And after that moment, I was like, what a dick, dude.
Yeah, at the height of that shit, man, like they got the bad rep that they did for a reason. You know, like they got labeled the frat boy rocking in it, and it was because of shit like that.
Yeah.
You know, don't get me wrong, man. They've got their place. I still love me some Limp Bizkit to this day.
Absolutely.
But, yeah.
I will say, though, now, I mean, they're like past the nostalgic thing, and they are just like, if you see any of the new, you know, like live concerts they're doing, I mean, they're amazing. I mean, the fact that Wes Borland is back with them, I fucking was a huge fan of Wes, you know, when he left. Big Dumbface was a really weird project that he did on his own, and
Blacklight Burns.
Yeah, dude. So, but
yeah, you brought up Stained. I'm going to touch on Stained for a minute.
Yeah,
I don't feel as though I have ever been catfished worse than I ever was by Stained.
Okay.
All right. So the Dysfunction album from '97,
Yep.
Stellar album, dude. It was badass. It had Raw on it. It had Mud Shovel. I mean, it was a sick ass album.
Yeah.
Break the Cycle comes out in what was that, 99, maybe 2000?
Something around there. Yep.
Okay, so the first track on Break the Cycle started out with one of the coolest fucking riffs that I had ever heard at the time. It was a dan 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 bang, you know, and they hit this harmonic squeal or this harmonic or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is fucking sick. This is gonna be amazing. And then they break it down and he starts singing all, you know, like that transitional style.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here, I was like, how do you guys go from Dysfunction to this?
Yeah.
And I was super mad. I wanted to take that CD back to the goddamn store and make them buy it back. It didn't work out. But,
Did you ever listen to their album before Dysfunction, the Tormented one with the dead priest with the bloody cross that he stabbed himself with? And
I don't remember that one. No,
it, you know, so it was like their like local album before they hit it big or whatever. Really fucking good, dude. And they got that's the original version of Mud Shovels on there too.
Okay.
You know, that's the album that they almost got kicked off the Family Values tour because, you know, Fred Durst was the one that discovered them, and then Fred apparently has some kind of religious, you know, notion to him, and he saw that album. You know, he heard Aaron Lewis sing and he signed him, and then he saw the album cover and he goes, "What the fuck is this shit?" And he goes, "Get the fuck out of here," you know. And then they gave him the chance. But yeah, good fucking album too, man. It's a really good one.
So I got a question for you. I know you used to play in a band way back in the day, right?
Yeah.
Did you, like, if you had to pick, man, did you ever have any cool ass bands that you guys opened for back in the day?
Yeah, so not huge, but for us, you know, as Minnesota people, everybody in every band was trying to be American Head Charge because they made it big. You know, they got signed to whatever American Records. They were playing with Slipknot. They were playing on Ozfest. We got to open for them, and that was fucking amazing. It was really fun, and so that was like the coolest one we liked. Another one we got to play at least, you know, in a venue or like, you know, once we were we never got big by any means, but we played around Minnesota, and we got to play the Lab in Minneapolis. And the day before that, 6 Feet Under just played there. So I was like on the same stage the night before, you know, the day after that they played. And I thought that was pretty fucking cool. But
yeah,
I don't think I ever played with anybody bigger. Like I think who did you guys have? Those kind of the larger names.
We opened for Power Man 5000 when they were doing their thing.
That's cool.
Soil. I mean, Veins of Jenna, which was like a Bam Margera band.
Okay.
I mean, we had a few that were bigger at the time.
That's cool.
But yeah, it was. I kind of miss those days, but at the same time, I don't.
It's a good era of your life, you know, or it's just like, I never wanted to be the guy that was still 40, still fucking around with garage bands, you know, or it's just like, you know, either it's going to work for you or it's not, you know, unless that's just your way of unwinding and living life, you know, and that's just a hobby, you know, which is cool too.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, man. I got some friends that just went on a tour, and they're well into their 40s. They're, you know, apparently it was a good time. You know, I was happy for them that they got to go out and experience that. But the whole damn time I'm thinking, how the fuck are you guys funding this? Because we know y'all ain't getting paid. Like, what the fuck is happening? You know? Yeah. And that's all I could think about. And that's when I realized, oh, okay, I'm too old to be a rock star now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Night, Sean Heim. Thanks for fucking hanging out, brother.
Give me a quick second, Stoney. I'll be right back.
Yeah, dude, no problem. Yeah, Sean says, I'm heading out. I'm old and sore and tired. Stay the hell off my lawn while I sleep, you fucking heathens. Dane Miller, you knew we were both rock stars. Oh, man. Yeah, dude, peace out, bitches. Hell yeah. Dude, thanks for everybody's fucking hanging out still, man. Absolutely. Hey, I'll take this moment here as a shameless plug while Mr. Shango is dropping a quick power deuce here. Don't forget, I got the fucking merch page is open, baby. Get on that Printify. Check it out. I got Stoney's TCM Museum shit. I got the podcast stuff. I even got some old throwback stuff to like the original like Stone Cold's Waffle House. There it is right there. And some other goofball shit too. So check that shit out. I appreciate it if anybody does happen to buy something. And for the people that have already bought all the shirts and stuff, I really appreciate it. But anything that does get sold on there, a little bit of that money gets right back into the show here, so you can get a better webcam, you know, fucking microphones, all that type of shit. So it's much appreciated. So fucking hit that up. You know what I'm saying. So he's back.
He's back.
Said had to plug the merch store again. You know, that's that beautiful shit you guys are seeing down below there. So get yourself some fucking classic shit, dude. I even got the fucking Mega Powers promo as a poster, dude.
That's badass. The old Mega Powers. That was a fun night, dude.
Dude, that was great, man. That
yes, it was.
Yeah, the Chainsaw Madness and Shango Mania. Or no, yeah, Hulkamania, Shango Mania. That's what it was.
Yeah, fuck, dude. We got to do one of those again here soon.
I've still got some shit to sell, dude. I'm not even lying. And I'd really like it to get the fuck out of here. So, it's someday, but it's probably the last one. Then I'm really done. I just, I don't have rotating inventory or anything, but I definitely have stuff that's not TCM that I wouldn't care to see anymore.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's been a while since I've done one, and it's weird, dude. So for the longest time, I have, as you know, and as many people in this community know, I've been a, what do you call it? A turnstile collector.
Sure.
Okay. So you tune in once every 6 months and you'll notice that the background is different. Oh, there's Kiss, there's medieval weapons, there's Game of Thrones, there's whatever. I think I've reached a point where I know what I need to do.
Yeah.
And for the first time in many, many fucking years, I don't have anything I want to sell. And the stuff that I do have, I've already got collectors and people with similar interests that have already spoken for the stuff. So it's kind of weird. I used to be able to just turn around and, I'm going to sell this and this and this. And yeah, it's kind of nice.
That's all right though, man. I think what you finally are settling on is really fucking you too. It's just like, not that it ever wasn't, what else you were in on, but you could just, like you always say, you always just come back to like zombies were always the fucking thing. It's just,
that they were. And I can't tell you how much of this stuff I had owned at different previous times too. And it's just like, no, I want to go get this Freddy figure that looks fucking stupid. And I'd rather have this bust over here that doesn't look anything like Freddy, but somebody said it was expensive. So I better have it just to show them how big my dick is, and those days are done too.
Dude, is there any other horror figure other than Freddy that can look so fucking weird and different in all these bust I just like there are some that are like really, really amazing and spot on, and then there's like some it's like, what the fuck? And then people are like still like, dude, look at this one. And you're like, are you serious? Like, you don't see that looks like horse shit? What the fuck? Yeah.
Freddy is the worst, man. Like, I have seen more terrible Freddy merchandise than I think I have with anybody else. Like with Ghostface, it's kind of hard to fuck him up. But yeah, Freddy is the major culprit for the worst shit I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, especially some of that late '80s fucking figures and stuff. You're just like, what the fuck, dude? He's just smiling like burnt hot dog man.
Yeah, the crotch chop Matchbox one where he's doing the DX thing inside the box.
Yeah,
it's garbage, man. I got love for Freddy. Nightmare on Elm Street is one of my favorite franchises, but it's dude, the merchandise is
they
just
did them
terrible.
wrong.
Yes. And some of these busts that I see people posting and they're just like, oh my God, I spent $800 on this. Look at how good it looks. And I was like, did you fucking look at it before you bought it, man?
Fuck,
like,
dude. That's wild, man. That's like, you're going to spend that kind of fucking cash. It better be, just a dream piece. At least that's, from my aspect, but maybe some people just got a lot more money to burn. They don't give a fuck, but.
Yeah, a lot of this stuff is really hard to screw up, and they still found ways to do it. Michael Myers, for example, he's got some pretty hideous shit out there too.
Yeah.
And, most of it came from Spencer Gifts, like, let's just be honest.
Oh, yeah.
Ironically, the same culprit that fucked up all the Kiss merchandise from the late 90s. But, yeah, it was some of this stuff I can't wrap my head around it, and people post it, and they're all proud of it, and it's like, cool, man, I'm happy for you.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm sure I've gotten that a few times.
Don't just want to just tear somebody down for no reason. Whatever. Okay, that's what you like. But you kind of just go, Jesus. Like.
yeah, it's interesting. Oh shit! I got a couple of figures I got to open though. I'm gonna do some of that while I'm currently laid up. Looking forward to that.
Do some shredding.
Oh yeah.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah. Well, shit. So what else has been up lately, man? What What other stuff did you want to talk about tonight?
Well, I mean, like I said, earlier, we could talk about Palestine, we could talk about LGBTQ and the riots, but I think I'd rather keep our friends.
So I have I'm glad that you said that. So I have determined that the stuff that is not supposed to be funny anymore
Yeah,
is fucking hilarious to me. Like we're getting back to that in society, and I'm starting to see it in stand up comedy and all that.
yeah,
So the other day, I found a meme, and it was a lady wearing a black dress, and on the shoulder it just had these random fucking white splotches,
yeah.
right? Okay, have you seen it? You know which one I'm talking
I
about?
won't ruin it. Yeah,
Yeah, and I fight the urge to post it because I think it's hilarious. It's and I think it was something about Elton John got too excited and farted on her or something, and like my dad was gay. Okay, my dad, Anne's mom, is a lesbian. And even they would laugh at this shit.
right.
But when you get on social media and you're like, okay, I'm going to share this because my dad would have laughed at this. And then immediately you've got 6 people mad at you right off the bat. It's like, I'm not sure if this is even more funny or if I should feel ashamed of myself, but I don't.
Yeah, dude, that was a good, and that made me laugh out loud too. And that's it. It's just like, dude, because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
funny, like. Comedy should be brutal. It should be funny, and there shouldn't
Yes.
be any fucking boundaries on it. It's just you should be able to make fun of anybody, everybody. So I love like roasts and stuff like that. It's just like at least there's an understanding in that realm there of like, dude, it's gonna be the worst, most horrific shit you've ever heard, and
Yeah, I have another one, and it's Shrek addressing all of the people in the Shrek universe. And the one on top, or the caption on top, says how to address everybody without offending anyone. And then over the middle it says, hello all fairy tale things. And it's like that shit to me is just great. And every time I do it, Anne will come in and she'll get mad at me, delete that. And
yeah,
yeah.
I just fucking push the buttons. That's all I like. That's all right. Just get everybody riled up. I think whatever. Everybody's all pissed off anyway, so just keep it going.
I have a Hispanic coworker, and he'll walk in and talk about white people offending shit, putting mayonnaise on everything and fucking raisins, and like he's just relentless about it. And the other
Yeah.
day, yeah, he walks in and I asked him. I said, "Hey man, do you know why Mexico doesn't have an Olympic team?" And he just stops and he kind of looks at me like dead seriously, and he goes, "No, I don't." And I was like, "It's because all the good runners, jumpers, and swimmers are over here." And he just died fucking laughing. And dude, I remember growing up, it was never about it was respect when you gave each other shit. You understood that stereotypes are stereotypes for a fucking reason, and
Right.
sometimes they're funny.
Yeah.
And I think it's starting to get back to that, man. Some of the stand up that I've been seeing lately is like, holy shit, did he just say that?
Yeah.
But you know it. Yeah, anyways, I'm a big fan of the way it's going right now.
No, for sure. For sure. Yeah. Yeah. Never mind. There's just some certain things I find funny. You're like, do I want to really repeat that right out loud? It's not my joke, but
Sure. Yeah, there's a lot of them, man. I remember growing up, and I would hear the white people jokes and I would fucking die laughing because
yeah.
it's true. And then nowadays you tell a joke that would be considered insensitive to minorities or whatever, and when I tell it to my friends of that race or nationality, they also laugh hysterically and they throw it right back.
Right.
But you have to be so fucking careful because
Yeah.
you don't know anymore. I saw a snippet from that Matt Riffy. I don't know how to say his last name, but he was just razzing on this black dude was out with his white friend, and he was just going to town on it, and he shined a flashlight on him and he goes, "Oh, there you are." And I'm just, dude, the whole thing was just hilarious.
Yeah.
And it was like, wait a minute, are we getting back to that?
Right.
Are we allowed to say funny shit again? And I think it's cool, man.
I think that we've finally hit the tipping point for the silent majority that have always, like this cancel culture, all this type of shit. Like, that's not the majority of people, right? That's just the loud fucking whatever.
Yeah.
But I think now, all of us, we've had enough. we've had enough of that. And I think it's just like now people are starting to kind of voice that. And, no, that is funny. That is really funny. You're seeing like the more support for that type of stuff, and which is great because it's like where we fucking need to really go back to. It's just like, for Christ's sake, the end of the fucking day, it's like we're all humans, we're all Americans, we're all this, it's just like that's the core bond about it, just the fact that you're gay or you're trans or you're black or you're white, it's like that doesn't need to be your sole identity, I mean, it's just like that's an attribute about you. Great, hey, I also suck cock. Okay, cool, but like I'm a fucking American. Great, that's the bond, that's we're people, we're peers, so.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna just start off every new friendship that I make with a handshake and be like, "Hey, by the way, I like girls."
Yeah. God, it's so weird too, especially now just having like kids and stuff. It's just like how they're it's like I got to really dig into like how's the school talking and stuff, because like Zelda, she just graduated fourth grade she just finished fourth grade. But about 2 weeks ago, they did, the sexual, reproductive, talk or whatever. And I'm like, and she had to bring home a permission slip. And I'm like, oh, of course, let's, if that's the time, now's the time, that's fine. But then it made me think, I go, well, I'd like to know the exact curriculum as to what we're talking. Are we just talking reproductive, the normal stuff? You're going to get periods, here's sex, here's this. Or are they jamming in everything else, the whole fucking, trans, gay, all this type of stuff, because then it's like that's completely different, where it's just like, we're just talking biology of reproductive versus like, now I don't need you getting in my kid's ear this early yet, and us, doing that. Like, she's in Girl Scouts and there's some things too where also they'll, do a certain patch on things. And I go, I don't want to enter into her mind yet this young about like, sexual preference and stuff. I'm like, it's just,
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep. I went through that exact same thing. Like, how old is Zelda now?
She's 10 tomorrow.
She's 10 tomorrow. Well, tell her I said happy birthday, first off. Yeah. Okay, so Jada's 13, and they had a very similar situation, the permission slips and all of that. And I was driving Jada to school one day, and she burst out in tears. Jada and I, we have a very, I don't want to say it's a special relationship, but I'm usually the one that she tells the harder stuff to.
Sure.
Like if somebody's being mean to her or whatever, she's more open and honest with me. And we were driving to school one day, and she goes, "Dad, I have something to tell you." And she starts breaking down crying, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" And she goes, "Dad, I'm a lesbian." And I was just like, "Okay, that's cool. I mean, where the hell did you learn this word? You're like fucking 10.
Yeah.
How do you know what this is?" And so I asked some more probing questions, like, "Okay, well, how do you know that? And why do you think that? Whatever." And she's like, "Well, because I don't like any boys." And I was like, "Okay, you're 10. That's not a thing yet."
Yeah.
And she's like, "And I think that girls are pretty." And I was like, that doesn't mean you're gay, babe. That just means that you can see there are fucking fellas out there that I know make me look like shit. And sometimes it's like, "Hey, you handsome fucker. That doesn't mean I'm gay."
Yeah.
And she's like, "So really, I'm not a lesbian?" And I was like, "No, where did you learn that word?" And she goes, "Well, I got friends that talk about it. And one of my friends is Polly." And I'm like, "Oh, her name's Polly." And she goes, "No, she says she's Polly." And I'm like, "Okay, what the fuck does that even mean?" So I had to have a talk with Ann about it. I was like, "What is Polly?" And, Ann's usually, she stays more in tune with this shit, like the younger generation shit. So she had to explain a bunch of it to me. But yeah, I understand exactly where you're coming from, because my kid knew what trans was. I had no fucking idea.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Oh, there's a person at school and they're trans." And I'm like, "You're 11. How the fuck do you know what that is?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it, dude.
And then there's litter boxes, and then here's all this, and it's just going nuts. But so when I don't know however many years ago this was, but my daughter, she was young and stuff. JoJo Siwa was like the little Nickelodeon thing, and so she came to town, and we bought tickets, so my wife and I, we took her to go see this down in Minneapolis. And we go there, and it's just fucking sea of like 8-year-olds and 6-year-olds, and just super very young kids. Like, there's not teenagers there, there's not. And so we saw the show, and we weren't down on the floor. The tickets were expensive, whatever. So we were kind of up in nosebleeds, whatever. But she had a great time, and just the ear piercing screams. You could just tell. I mean, it was a super young fan base, right? As it should be. And then so in the middle of the show, JoJo, all of a sudden they bring her out like a chair, and she like sits down and she goes, "So guys, I came out as gay, and I just want to talk about this for a few minutes." And we're like, the wife and I kind of look at each other, and like you could see all these other parents too was like, very uncomfortable. And I'm just like, so it was like, like a 5-10 minute spiel, but it was basically stop the concert, stop the music, what all these tiny little girls were there for, to also talk about that. And it's like, we're not saying that you can't talk about, how you are or whatever, but it's like, pick your fucking audience, bitch. Talk about that in like some 18 magazine or some teenager magazine or like something like that. But it's just like, don't sit there, I mean, like, and expect like this fucking 5-year-old kid who just likes your music and likes your fucking bows that you wear to like understand this. And it's just like, don't open up, because then all of a sudden, on the car ride home, then there was an uncomfortable conversation, that we weren't ready to have. Dad, what is gay? It's like, okay, well, let's fucking talk about that now. But it's just like, they're so young and impressionable. It's just like, if that's what you truly end up to be, that's fine. But you don't know what that is, and then it gets so cliquey nowadays, where it's like everybody's trans, everybody's this, and it's like we're not, And if you are eventually, that's fine. But Jesus, man, it's crazy.
I agree with you 100%. It puts, I see both sides of that, because on one hand, it does make a taboo subject much more familiarized and understandable, if the parents are willing to have that conversation.
Sure.
Adversely, it takes that, well, hey, maybe I'm this way because my idol JoJo Siwa said I am, so now I'm going to go around and tell everybody that. And yeah, there's definitely two sides of that coin. And it's tough, man, especially if you didn't know it was coming, if you weren't ready to have it. I understand entirely, man.
Yeah, it kind of it pissed you off in a way of that, where it's just like, they're taking, it's like there's certain things as a parent that, you should have, a little hearsay on the timing of all that. And all of a sudden when it's like, so I don't know. I mean, obviously it's just a crazy time it's starting to get, but they even have now, Minnesota is considered the California of the North, they say, as far as, child protection, as far as trans rights go. So in Minnesota now, and this is something I just hope none of the kids ever fucking hear about, but the state, well, so like if your kindergarten teacher gets in your kid's ear and says, no, well, there's you maybe you're trans and this, they can talk to you without having to have a conversation, let you know what they're doing. And then if your child decides that that they are, the state can push them forward through transitional surgeries and all that type of stuff without your consent, and they actually put them into protection, and they will fund it with taxpayer money and stuff. So if your kid, it just doesn't know anything and thinks this is the thing to do, they can go through a life-altering fucking surgery and hormone blockers and all this stuff, and you literally aren't able to legally, keep them from that. Like, that's fucking terrifying there. It's just like, that's where we're like the world's getting stupid, where, and again, it's not stupid that, trans isn't stupid, but it's just this like walking on eggshells and like, that's so weird, dude. It's,
Yeah, I'm not going to say that I did a little bit of time in Minneapolis, Eden Prairie and all that stuff when I was working for a northern coffee company, and I had to do some time up there helping get some stores back in order.
Sure.
And I remember being up there, and it was a very, very liberal town.
Yeah.
And it was, it was just very, very weird. Not that where I'm from is, not liberal. I mean, I would say that where we're at here is 50-50. It's just a lot of the stuff that I saw being talked about on the news while I was up there. There were people holding signs everywhere. It seemed like, there was always something going on up there, and it was weird. That was a very alien place. So being the California of the Midwest or the North or whatever, I can see it. It's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got our neighbor is trans. I've got nothing against trans people.
Sure.
But when it comes to parenting and navigating through this and knowing that, I, as a 42-year-old man, did something stupid and I got a tattoo on my arm that I regret.
Yeah.
And that's one of those, you can be whatever the hell you want when you're 18. You're old enough to make those decisions and you have to live with them. But yeah, that's just too far to me.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Like how the comments have just stopped.
It's like, oh shit, they're off on another tirade.
Look at these old white men. Look at it.
Fucking bearded fat guys, man. Here we go.
Dude, jeez. Yeah, exactly, right? Typical. Look at it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know what else, dude. I mean, I've just been like, I've been scoring shit in the wild. As far as my horror collecting goes, I've been really going on this own weird thing now because I'm bored as far as standard collecting goes. I mean, you know me, I've been on this for a very long time, and it's like I kind of have like everything that's like out there, within reason. And now to me it's and then I've gone through my fair share of like custom artists and stuff like that, but it's expensive, and so now it's finding shit in the wild. I've been finding chainsaws left and right, which is fucking really cool. So I've been getting a bunch of those, and then I'm actually working on making my own Leatherface bust out of a mannequin and some stuff like that, and so I actually just finally got something I've been waiting on for a long time to finally own one. But I got one of his tie. So I've got one of my favorite killing masks. I've got a sweet bloody apron made by the Reverend. I finally found a shirt that's gonna look good. And the good thing too about me, again, it's like I don't care about the super fine details. If it's not fucking screen accurate, I don't give a piss. It's for me. It's what I like. I'm gonna make it. I don't give a shit. But I'm really excited about that, dude. I can't wait for it to be done. But it's kind of just like this is all like labor of love stuff now. It's like I'm not going to stop, liking this. It's never going to go anywhere. So I have no pressure or rush feeling to like get it done, So it's like, it might take me a year to finally piece it all together, when it's finally done. But I don't know, man.
It was funny, man. I got excited for you when you posted the pictures of your chainsaw scores and stuff lately.
Yeah.
But I looked at Ann and I was just like, all right, how many do we think he's going to end up with at this rate? He's going to have 5 of these poulons, and it was humorous because we know why you're doing it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm like, how many chainsaws do you need? And then I stopped and I thought for a second and I was like, he's doing that. And I'm doing the same thing with fucking Lucille bats. I get it. And I understand what you're saying, seeing some of that stuff, like this bat, it's a bat wrapped in barbed wire. There's absolutely nothing fucking cool or special about it.
Yeah.
But I get it. It's cool and special to us.
Yep. Exactly.
So how many poulons do you have at this point?
So I now own, just because I had this weird, crazy streak of finding them. And I mean, for years, I've never found one locally. I found, for the 306A, the original movie's a 245, and there's always a lot of, talk about it was a 306, no, it was a 245, no, but it was 245 with 306 parts, blah, blah, blah. It's a 245 in the original, but the 306 was used in the remake, or I'm sorry, not the remake, but the 2022, the Netflix one. So 306s, I found I have 4 of them within the last couple of months. Fucking weird. And then for the 245, I found one in the wild, and I've had one for a long time that's signed by a bunch of people. So, but then now I'm like picking up other weird chainsaws, and just ones that look cool and stuff like that. I'm just kind of whatever. But my biggest idea is, so like behind where I'm looking at right here, behind like my monitors and stuff, I've got 2 closets that are like bifold doors. I took the doors off, and in one of them I have a bookshelf, which I have all my masks kind of lined up in a big grid. Well, now what I want to do is I want to find a mirrored bookcase that's going to fill the other one, and on each shelf I want to have a chainsaw from each movie, and with that chainsaw I want the mask, and then maybe like the DVD or something, so each one is like, here's 1, here's 2, here's 3, here's 3D, here's that, because I think that'd be really fucking cool
looking.
And again, something I want to do. It's how I choose to enjoy the collection. So,
it's weird the way your stuff in general tends to go. Like with the Lucille bat, the one that I just got is signed by Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and at some point, hopefully down the fucking road, I would like to add Steve Yeun to it as well, because when you think of that bat, there are two people that come to mind, obviously, one being Negan and the other being Glenn, who was the most famous character killed by that bat.
Sure.
And, so I want to get it signed by Steve as well. And nobody else cares. I mean, honestly, nobody else gives a fuck about, it seems like The Walking Dead it's an infatuation of mine.
Sure.
And, I went back to it after giving up on it years and years ago, and god damn was I wrong. I'm glad that I finished it. But, yeah, it's funny the way we get into those one track fucking infatuations and stuff. Yeah. And I get it at this point, dude. I really do. Oh shit.
I still have not found that figure cheaper, so that hippie old fucker will suck me off. that was been a while ago. I forget which figure we're talking.
The dick sucking Viking.
Oh, the dick sucker. Stoney, you got the
if you can find it cheaper, trophy. I will suck your dick.
Suck your dick. Johnny, let me show you something, bud. I do, my friend. So
damn.
I can't even keep it in the shot here. So, yeah, I got this one. I forgot. This is a, who the fuck are these people? Disillusion 74 Studios. This is number 19 of 25 made. So,
wow.
Yeah, this one's pretty sick, man. It's fucking heavy as piss, too. So, now that the Chicago Con isn't happening, I'm focusing back onto the CryptCon more because I still got Bob Elmore and Carolyn Williams coming. So I'm going to bring this. I'm going to get them signing that.
Hell yeah. I'm kind of hoping that CryptCon has a few aces up their sleeve.
Yeah, I hope so too, man. Again, for me, for the TCM love, that's great. But other than that, it's kind of a little lackluster. And I don't mean to dog on them because, they're my hometown con, but
sure.
This is another thing I bought straight from Ed Neal, the hitchhiker. Such a fucking can of the chili.
That's sick.
And it's fucking got eyeballs and teeth and shit inside of it. It's fucking cool. So he was selling those at the Texas Frightmare, but he put 5 of them online, and I happened to just nab it, the last one right before they all went away. So
yeah, that's cool. That reminds me of that Moz fucking slop shit that I found. They had was it Ma Hubbard from Friday the 13th? Sure. I don't remember which one right off the top, but anyways, yeah, it was just one of those neat random ass pieces that you couldn't deny. And me being the fat fuck, I always wondered what was inside the can. I almost opened it once.
Did you?
Yeah.
He says, "Oh shit, that's wicked as fuck." Hell yeah. Yeah, I got that chili trophy and my 245 chainsaw, which is signed by Ed. And, it's signed by Ed. So that was my first 245. I bought him from the same guy, kind of an old school TCM collector, so he gave me like a nice price on it. And then with that one, I actually found a chainsaw bar signed by Gunnar Hansen on eBay. And so I popped it onto that. So I do have an original chainsaw signed by Gunnar out of technicality. So, yeah, that was a fucking good score from that dude. And it was probably like 8 months between each other when I bought the second piece. All of a sudden it was, I don't know if it was hard times or whatever. All of a sudden he's letting something nice go. But yeah, that fucking trophy was a son of a bitch to ship. And she came kind of broken. So I had to, labor of love, piece that together with some glue and some shit. But we've all had that happen before, haven't we?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Fuck yeah. Well, my brother, I don't know, man. We've been kicking it for fucking almost 2.5 hours here.
Yep. I was just noticing that myself.
We might need to pull the plug. 'Cause like I said, I got the daughter's fucking birthday tomorrow, so she thinks we're not doing anything because she did the big Nickelodeon Studios Universe theme park today. They for the Girl Scout, shit. She did so many sales, she got invited to this thing. So Mom and her went today. Unlimited rides. They were riding roller coasters at like 8 a.m. It was a good time. I'm like, no, that's kind of your birthday present, but we're taking her tomorrow to like one of those big ass trampoline park things, those urban,
Sweet.
Whatever. So we're gonna do that.
Oh yeah,
be a good time.
All right, well, fuck it, hey man. Johnny Brim Shango, what is your most prized pinhead piece? Johnny, I don't have any pinhead anymore. I am exclusively zombies or zombie adjacent as far as my collection is
You had to
concerned.
narrow it down.
Yeah, yeah. Pinhead, Hellraiser is always gonna have a special place in my heart, but when I got that shit, it was just like, nah, been there, done that,
Yeah.
and so yeah. I don't have any Hellraiser left outside of one Doug Bradley auto, and that's pretty much it.
Johnny, I'll
So
say my favorite Hellraiser piece of Shango's was the bust with the hot dog catcher. Ah.
fuck, I don't even remember who has that one now, but I had some pretty impressive Hellraiser shit over the years, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get that stuff and you think you love it, and you're just like, okay, I don't love it enough to not take the money for it.
Right.
So, but it's different, like with this stuff here, I've had some pretty crazy offers come in for some of the stuff that I've gotten recently, and I just no, I'm good.
What's really, really nice is that everybody seems to know that I'm so hard on this TCM. People don't offer me, for the shit. They just know that there's not a fucking chance in hell I'd ever sell anything. So that's
Sure.
Cause I could imagine that, all of a sudden it's like, I really like this, but they're like, dude, here's like a crazy amount of money. You're like, fuck. Because, I mean, maybe I would sell some of it. I probably shouldn't say that. But, I wouldn't want to. But, fucking sometimes money talks, baby.
The Day of the Dead, the cast sign Day of the Dead DVD sleeve. Once I took it out of the DVD case, put it in a frame, and posted pictures, I had a few people in my inbox like, "Dude, how much do you want for that? How much is going to take it?" No. We're good here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dude, those poachers are what fucking killed my mail call, posts and stuff. Here, hey, check out what I got, because then it would just be like, hey, when are you going to sell? It's like, no, fucker, I'm celebrating something I just got, like, leave me the fuck alone.
Yep. Yeah, it's funny, but then again, people got used to me selling literally everything.
Yeah.
Sure. It's just like, oh, I like this piece, but I like money more. Yeah, it's not like that now. Yep. But all right, man, I will let you go do your thing. This was fun as always, man. Thanks for having me on.
Dude, I appreciate it, man, and fucking hopefully do this more and more often. And then when you start kicking out the jams, baby, I can't wait. Fucking be supporting.
Yeah, based off our conversation tonight, you're probably going to be a regular on that too if you're all right with it. So,
right.
All right, man. I will let you go. Everybody have a good night. Thanks for hanging out with us for a couple hours. I will see you fuckers soon.
All right, brother. Peace, man.
Have a good one.
All right. Well, motherfuckers, if you're still hanging out and it's been this late, go the fuck to bed, for Christ's sake. I'll be patching together the take 1 and take 2 together, putting it up on the YouTube page, of course, in case you didn't get to catch all of it or something. It's always a good time every time Shango's around here. So, in closing, ladies and gentlemen, we do got the Crypticon coming in Minneapolis. Big Bob Elmore and Carolyn Williams are my stars. They're going to be doing a group in costume photo op for your ass. Come and kick it with me in Minneapolis. If you can't, that's cool too. We get it. The merch store is open, baby. Do not forget about it. So we got Space Corps podcast swag for yo sexy ass, along with Stoney's TCM stuff and some other throwback stuff like the dual Mega Powers auction poster. I got some fucking just goofball shit up there too. So anything support the show, I really appreciate it. Big shout out to Sam Wincup again, who was with SAMSPRINTZ, helping me design the logo, the multimedia, all that type of stuff. She is my fucking saving grace for this. I appreciate the shit out of her. Everybody else who's fucking watching it, who's bought and shit, even just anybody who's subscribed to the channel, anybody that's shown any kind of support, I really, really fucking appreciate it. Again, it's a really goofball thing I got going on here. This is more of a hobby, and it's not a hopes of this becoming something big by any means. That ain't what this is. This is just my my way of venting through my collection and interacting with everybody. So there it is, motherfuckers. Try to do this every single Saturday. So we'll see. Maybe we'll have Shango back on again. I do got some other guests lined up. I just got to get the schedule and shit hammered out. So everybody have a good rest of your weekend, and we will talk again. This has been the Space Corps Podcast, episode 26, live from Stoney's TCM Museum of Minnesota. You're all beautiful people. Let's go to bed together. Good night, baby.